Yeah, so what happened was my father made this challenge, right? We did like a Zoom family thing, right? We all kind of got together, and he kind of put it together he invited a bunch of people and put it together. And so I was like, all right, yeah, I'll join. I'll get up with you guys. And then I get in there, and we're having a lot of fun, dude. It was really cool to kind of catch up with everybody. And, you're on Zoom. You're just kind of laughing and making fun of people the way they look on camera and all that shit, right? And somewhere along the line, my dad is like, hey, this is what we need to do. We need to not shave until COVID is done, right?
Holy
And
crap,
I was
okay.
like, this was probably a good 6 weeks ago now. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, okay, I guess I could do that. And then I wasn't sure about it, but then he brought up what my grandfather did. My grandfather, who rest in peace. He died a few years back. But when my father was stationed was deployed to Desert Storm, my grandfather did a similar thing where he would not shave until he came back home safe. And so my grandfather just kept, and my grandfather was one of those that shaved all the time. The only thing he always kept was a mustache. He was an old school guy that always had a mustache, but his face was clean shaven. He was very old school.
So nobody could call him a bald-faced liar.
Sure.
Yeah, that's where it's coming from. You know this.
Is
you
it?
know the thing.
The
bald face. Yeah, when they say he was that's a bald-faced lie. It has something to do with people wearing mustaches to hide the fact that they're lying. I don't know. There's a story behind it.
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
You of all people will probably find it interesting. Anyway, and go.
I do already. Yeah. So I'm already like, you're right. I need to put this
Why
down.
Why do people say bald-faced lie?
What is the origins of a bald-faced liar?
There is. I guarantee you right now, without looking at it, there is a YouTube video that will explain it, and you'll be like, "Oh, that was very informative."
I agree, and I look forward to finding this video.
Maybe the first break.
Yeah, I just might. Yeah, because if there's one thing I love YouTube about, it's finding little videos about
learning.
Did you know?
Stuff.
Did you know? Yeah, I love that shit. Anyway, so that was he brought that up as the example, and I was like, and I was gonna kind of leaning towards, nah, man, I gotta shave, I got this, whatever. And then when he mentioned that, I was like, well, shit, now I can't say no because I'm trying to do this. He's trying to do this.
Your button.
Yeah. I'm like, what the hell? Okay, fine, yeah. So, well, it was a few of us, and then for whatever reason, like, it's just me and my dad now. You know what I mean? Like, we're the only ones.
The challenge stands. So your dad's also so I haven't seen how long of a beard your dad has right now. Is he still?
Oh, let me see. I can send you the most recent. Although this is completely unhelpful for the podcast, but I can send you the picture that my sister did, like a side by side.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that picture. Didn't you, Derka, commented on it?
Oh, she did. That's right. Yeah. The one with the
ping pong.
Yes. The Dominican word of the day. Yes.
The Dominican word of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's him. And so, but that's probably, I think that's what, a couple weeks ago. So we're still now. Wow. I've bought a beard comb.
You
I have
did,
in my hand now. Yeah, I got a beard comb here. I have some beard balm and beard oil. And I've got another comb or something like that. And it's like I wasn't going to do that, but you know what it is? I realize if you don't do it, then your beard just looks horrible. You know what I mean? It's like if you're going to do it, you really need to take care of it.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. And then on top of that, it ends up getting ashy and stuff like that because you need to. You can clean it as much as you want. When the skin starts to come off of it, it looks like it's almost like dandruff. You know what I mean? It's for the point of the oil, because what's happening is that the skin underneath the beard gets so dry. Yeah. Because of that, so you got to kind of replenish it with balm and with oil, and it keeps it one, it keeps the beard soft. I didn't realize that. Like, oh man, this. How many times I said, man, this beard is like itchy. It's just getting annoying, you know.
Yeah.
And I finally got the balm and I put it on. I'm like, oh, it's not bothering me anymore. Okay, and it's softer. And then on top of that, it's you can tell
Oh.
it's como se dice, it's healthier. So it doesn't look
Oh.
it doesn't look dry or anything like that. It has a nice shine to it and everything. I was like, oh, all right. I like where this is going. I can see why people do this. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing that always bothered me whenever, because I was trying to let it grow at one point, but then it never, even when I try to, when you're scissoring like the stray hairs here and there, and you're trying to make it all even and nice, like the very next day it'll be all crazy again. And of course, I wasn't using any of the products as I usually just shave and I usually just do a goatee, and even that at some point I just go and trim it. So it's always wild and incredibly itchy to have, to leave the beard. So I just gave up. But it was, I guess, that the fact that it
That's
gets
exactly
dry.
what it is.
Yeah, I already have dry skin to begin with.
Me too.
So yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
So
the balm goes on there, and it immediately takes away because it just feels not moist, but it's giving it some moisture to not dry out, basically.
Somebody mentioned coconut oil also, something like that, which
yeah.
I have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Coconut oil works as well. Argan oil, I think, is what most of the beard oils are made of. There's a couple other things, but anyway, the point is that's why it's happening. That's the only reason why it's happening, because otherwise it would not be happening. Because I'm going to tell you, I can tell you, there's one person in this house who is dying for COVID to go away so that I can shave. And it's not just me. So,
but I thought, I don't know. I haven't seen the latest pictures of you with the balm now.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it probably looks similarly the same, really, but like there was one that I think I posted in the chat group. That was just me coming out of the shower and then just kind of taking a towel to my face, and it's just like completely, you know what I mean? Just like, it literally made that sound. It's like, whoa, where all that come from? Here, let me just save it here and I'll post it on the other one. This is before the balm and the oil, and what the hell?
Before and after.
That's the one there.
This is the before. This is the after. Hold on.
That's the before.
Yeah, it gotta be because you look like you're wearing cotton balls all around your face.
Exactly.
You could probably put you could pull up mutton chops pretty well, actually.
I'm sure I can.
That's the scary part.
Yeah, I can definitely pull off the Chester A. Arthur look.
Oh, let me see. Hold on. I have to look. Chester A. Arthur. There we go. Yep, definitely. Yep. Holy shit!
I told you.
Yep. Yeah. On point.
Really on point. Right? Tell
Let me see. This is. Oh yeah. This is cleaner. This is more Juan Luis Guerra.
That's a good one. Yeah. I haven't heard that name in a while. Wow. Yeah.
Yes.
That's much more Juan Luis Guerra. You're right.
Good.
You're right. I look at it. Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you, man.
And we're back, guys. No, it's not. We're back. It's just welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is The Real, episode 210. No, wait a minute. I think it's 211. Son of a bitch.
We're still rolling. We're just gonna go for it.
I know. We're just gonna go for it at this point. I mean, this is just how on the fly where it is episode 211, guys. I apologize. Of GG's Mouthful Podcast.
This is the part where I say GG, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, then GG. Go. All right,
Nice.
we got it.
We got it.
One
We
take.
made it. Yep.
One take.
Exactly. It only took 11 minutes. I love it.
Yes.
That other voice, of course, is Mr. Dream Twister, aka David Santos. What is up, sir?
Sir, welcome. It's good to be back because we are back after all.
It is. Yeah.
It's been a week. We
It sure
almost
has.
didn't record this week. No, we were gonna. We're recording on a Saturday. Normally, we record on Friday nights, but yesterday was a very special occasion. It was my wife's birthday, and we decided to. We were planning on going out. And by out, we meant like to the park. Not do anything. We're not doing anything crazy or anything like that because, of course, COVID is not over, guys.
It is not contrary to what the governor in Florida wants you to believe. It is not over, guys. I'm just saying.
This is not a free for all. This is not. Let's go back to to partying and gatherings and family visiting and this is none of that. We still should be completely super washing our hands and wearing masks and being careful this and that. So we obviously we didn't want to stay in the house. We were thinking, okay, so what will be safest thing to do will be to escape to nature. And we decided to do that. And I didn't think of it, much at first, but then I thought, man, this is awesome. So now I kind of wanted to make it a weekend thing where we just discover a new park in the area.
Okay.
Because we live in Florida. Surprisingly, we actually do have a lot of parks nearby that are cool places to just sit and relax or walk to a trail or hike a little bit or something or ride a bike if you have one. I don't know one.
Just gotta be careful in your area. Your area has like black bears and shit. Although black bears, I hear, are more scared of us than we are.
Well, the area where we were right now, it had alligators.
Oh,
but that sure didn't stop.
Those are no big deal.
No, not at all. I mean, it was a little lake over there. There's a sign there clearly says there's alligators and snakes and do not trespass. And of course there were people, a Florida man or jumping
yes.
from a big tree, so because. Of course.
The legendary Florida man.
Yes, the Florida man.
Legendary Florida man was out there in full force. Actually, I'm looking at the video you posted, and as soon as you said that, because I couldn't tell, as soon as you said that, I saw something coming off a tree landing in the water. I was like, oh, that had to be some fool. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, that's a Florida man nowadays rivals the Dos Equis guy.
For real. For real. Oh my goodness. Well, that's good, sir. I'm good.
Yeah, man. It was fun, and then at night, just wanted to spend some time. Even though she kind of dispatched me early.
Oh, damn.
Because she was watching. What's it called? Kingdom.
I think you mean to say dismissed me early.
Dismiss me. Yeah. What did I say?
Dispatch me.
Dispatch me? Dismiss me. Yeah, dismiss me. Thank you. Dismissed me early because she was watching The Last Kingdom or something like that. I think it's what it's called.
Is that the one, the Korean zombie?
No. That is... This is a series that started a while back.
On Amazon?
Babe, what's the name of that show that you're watching? The Last Kingdom. And it's on season 4. She's recommending it to anyone, everyone, especially if you like Game of Thrones. But it's
okay.
Good. Evidently, there's a lot of killing, a lot of killing. I was like, more than Game of Thrones. She's like, yes. I'm like, oh shit, okay then. I didn't know you were into snuff movies, but that's fine.
Wow.
so, so I found myself with time in my hands, and I tried to text you guys in to see if you guys were still up for podcasting, but I guess like everybody have made their plans already.
Yeah, I was gonna say the moment you have the night off, or if I tell Joe, I'm like, well, we're gonna do it tomorrow because of whatever A, B, C, and D, whatever reason it is,
Hmm.
and so that's now set in stone. I can't now
Ah,
retract that, because then
yeah.
suddenly I lose all
I
credibility in the
figure.
future.
I figure. I mean, besides,
So yeah.
what's more, what's one more day,
Of course,
to
of
wait
course,
for?
of course.
It's all good. Yeah.
I agree. I agree 100%. Well, good. I'm glad your quarantine has its release days. Lets
Yeah.
you go out into the wild. Uh,
Into the
that's
wilds,
cool.
into the crazy wilds of Florida.
Of Florida, yes. Be careful of Florida, man. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If this is your first time listening, please go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. And of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. What we normally do is go into first what we've been up to, move on into some various news items, and then we finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's
This
hot
week,
topic,
hot topic.
it's all about the Xbox Series X gameplay reveal.
Oh snap! We're gonna talk.
Oh,
So basically, we're not having any topic of the week because there wasn't really any gameplay. Oh, that's
I
the
mean,
joke. All right, guys. See you next week. GG.
it's not far from the truth. Actually, it's pretty much true. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
They had a 27-minute presentation, and I want to
Mhm.
say it was longer if you did the Inside Xbox one because they had like an hour before and like another hour afterwards. I'm like, guys, there really wasn't that much information on this thing to have this big of a show before and after, but
Yeah, this is not
whatever.
E3.
Yeah, it's
And
like
if this
okay.
would have been your E3 presentation, then yikes.
Oh God, no, God no. But we will get to that a little later on in the show. Mr. Santos, let us start with
Sir.
you. What have you been up to, sir?
Of course, I know you want to dispatch me quick.
Oh, no.
That's not the word. Dismiss me. No, no, man. I honestly, you know what? Game wise, a lot of nothing. I haven't played anything. I haven't done anything. I have taken this turn, into the weird side of things where now I upgrade my computer to play games, but then I don't play anything on it. I just use my computer to
Wow.
look for more stuff that I can upgrade it to, rather than to actually use it to play something. So I try to play, No Man's Sky for a little bit, and I did an hour. And I'm like, man, this game is. I know it's fun. I know it's actually it's pretty much fixed, and I will still give it a recommendation. But just starting on it, it's still even though they have made great strides actually to make it a little bit more welcoming and a little bit easier for newcomers to jump into. There's still downtime moments on that game where you're like, okay, I don't know where to start, or I don't know if I'm stuck because the draw of my luck is that I'm on a planet where the materials that I need to do the next thing that I need to continue the story, it's not there, or very scarce, or very hard to find.
Okay.
So so uh and I can only have so much fun with the, well, let's just go around and see what happens, and let's explore, because I do want to do the exploration, but I don't want my game to be just that. Obviously, I do want to advance in the storyline and see. So I'll play for like 2 hours, and then I'll get bored, and I'll shut it down. And uh, I this week I finished Streets of Rage 4.
Ah,
Uh,
the new one.
eh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know if it was this week, right? I didn't talk about. I think I talked about playing it last week, So this week I finished it. It's not a hard game to finish. Honestly, I should have beat it in one sitting because it's not difficult to
Wow.
do. They think the game's like 2 or 3 hours long if you sit down and just play it through.
Okay.
The thing is, it's because of the type of game it is. I'd like to play it in short bursts, so I'll pass a couple stages and then I'll stop. Like it wouldn't hold my interest to just continue because it's not like it has a riveting story or anything like that.
They never
Uh,
do.
no, 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 no. I mean, it's for fans of Streets of Rage. I will still recommend it. I still have fun, playing it. But if you have to, you will know. You have to like brawlers in general, And I would say that, with some exceptions to the formula, like Dragon's Crown,
Hmm.
uh, uh, which is a brawler game that I really enjoyed because it had brawling, but it was an RPG at the same time, and it was cool and it was longish. This game, I mean, if you're into brawlers, you will love it. You think, okay, this is one of the best that have come so far. If you're not into them that much because the formula is kind of stale already, you know that the gameplay is a little bit outdated. This is not, unfortunately, going to do anything to sway you to change your mind.
Okay.
Uh, maybe grab it at a special. Like if it's $10, I'll say yeah. Why not? It is fun.
What
And
is
to be
the
fair,
normal price?
25, 24.99.
Ooh, okay.
So
That's
yeah,
yeah.
and it does have, like, it's made for the fan. For the fans will find that it has enough to justify the pricing. Especially if I would have been playing this game, let's say with you,
Hmm.
in a sit. Let's say we'll sit and we'll play through the entire thing. That will be a fun time, you know.
Okay.
Uh, but same thing with couch co-op, which right now, obviously, for reasons of the virus, I wouldn't necessarily recommend. But it's I played a single. I played it just me, and I know this is the type of game that you will enjoy a little bit more with another player, with
Okay.
someone else, co-op. But yeah, man. And besides, it was the ending of it was like extremely disappointing. It's one of those games where you beat the last boss, and almost in arcade fashion, it just
Thanks for
gives you
playing.
a game over. Yeah, almost, and then back to the main screen. And it's like, okay, so what happened? Like, give me something and make it worth my while. Nothing, nothing. It was just extremely disappointed on that. Also, the 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 music. I was praising the music a lot last week because the beginning stages have music that was very, like, you could tell that it was very Streets of Ragey.
Hmm.
I think they packed up most of it at the beginning. The latter stages, it was like I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it as much. You didn't feel like this was, you know, music from, the type of music from a Street of Rage game, with maybe the exception of three, which I mentioned that the music there, it varies in quality.
Yeah,
I would
everybody
say this
mentioned.
one's not super bad like that, but it is like it's not Streets of Rage 2.
Hello? Ooh.
Whoa, what's going
Oh,
on here? What
we're being
are we getting?
hacked.
Are we getting hacked? Yeah, is this what's happening? Holy
Oh,
shit!
Good evening, gentlemen.
Out of the nowhere, out of the ether comes
out of
a
the
Yes,
darkness.
voice.
Out of the
Out of the
darkness.
chaos, out of the darkness. A
I
new
have
Mr.
challenger has
arrived.
arrived.
Yes, Mr. Chaos fucking Reaper,
Woo! Yes.
according to his name on the on the Zencastr.
Yes.
Hail fucking Reaper.
Oh, I love it.
That's
What
a great timing.
is
That's a great entrance.
it is, yeah, it was perfect. What
Yeah.
is up, sir?
I quit Walmart.
What?
Oh, damn.
Did you say fuck the pandemic is over? I'm gonna go back to the casino and work the shit I'm out.
No,
Is
no.
that what's happening?
I wish it was that simple. No, it's actually more for health reasons. My back and my blood pressure.
Oh
And
Mm.
shit!
yeah,
Oh,
I had to quit. My back's so messed. It's not. I don't think it's like permanently messed up, but it's been hurting
I
for
hope
over a
not.
week now. And yeah, I couldn't like working there was not gonna help it in any way. So
Damn, sir. I'm sorry. And at the same time,
I'm not.
congratulations.
I'm not sorry one bit. I mean, I'm sorry about my back, sure, but not about quitting.
Damn.
Oh
He
man,
was
that's
like,
awesome.
"Fuck this shit, I'm out."
Fuck this
Pretty much.
shit,
That's
I'm out.
exactly what I wanted to say when I quit. But you know,
Nice.
I don't like to burn bridges and whatnot. I mean, to be honest, I didn't give him the 2 weeks, so I don't know if I burned that entire bridge. And I should have just said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." But you know,
Nah, Florida's a
I
right to
think,
work state. You're good.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
okay.
Yeah,
I
you're
give
right.
him a resignation at the very least.
There you go.
yeah,
There
exactly.
you
You
go.
told him exactly. You didn't just decide not to show up.
Right, right. No,
The
I.
standard, the standard is to give the same amount of your notice as the same amount of your PTO. That's like the
Oh,
what the standard was. So if you don't have any
Really?
PTO or you have like a minimum whatever PTO, then
I'm
you're fine.
temporary. They didn't give a
Yeah,
shit about me.
oh,
there
there
you
you
go.
go.
Yeah.
You could have just not showed up. The standard of how to quit at Walmart. The recognized standard. There you go.
Now my wife is serving me a shot of Crown Apple to celebrate
Oh,
Nice,
nice.
this
That
occasion.
nice.
that's really good. My
That's
wife
it.
just asked me for a Fireball, and I had to serve
A
it to her.
return to the podcast once again. Yes. Cheers to
Yes,
that.
Welcome back, sir. Welcome back. I mean, you're always
that's
here, but welcome back to the whole show. Uh,
yes. Not the
Good to
awesome,
be
tail
back.
end of it. Not the tail end.
awesome. Well,
So,
Dream Twister, I don't know if you had some more of what was going on.
no, man. Honestly, well, real quick, only for amusement purposes, I have actually I've been spending a lot of time on the Reddit subgroups for PCs and specifically for mechanical keyboards because some of you guys might not know this, but I like mechanical keyboards in general. At the beginning, it was like, hey, I just like how they facilitate my work because in my line of work, I'm using the computer to chat like the entire day.
Listen, for those of us that are ignorant of the differences, what is the difference between a normal keyboard and a mechanical one?
Ah, okay, all right. Well, real quick, because I don't want to bore you guys to death. So the the cheap keyboards that the most of the time give you at work, they are what they're called membrane keyboards, which is basically when the buttons that you press are really pressing a like a piece
Like a
of
plastic
membrane,
underneath?
like a plastic that yeah that
Oh.
activates when it hits the bottom. It has like a conductive material that when it hits the bottom, it closes the circuit of whatever key you're pressing, and that's how it shows on the screen. And usually,
Oh.
the reason I don't like them is because they always feel mushy. Because I mean, you're clicking on rubber basically. You're clicking
Yeah,
on
yeah.
stone.
It's like controllers are, right?
Yeah. Except that in controllers, it kind of makes sense to have them like that. That's actually a very good way of putting it. A controller have that, but on a controller, you want that because you don't want a clicky button on a controller because that'll be annoying
Okay.
as hell. You
I
know.
mean, yeah, especially at the rate that we press these buttons, that shit would be
Yeah.
really annoying.
Exactly. It'll be clicky, 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 clicky. It'll drive you bonkers. But on a keyboard, believe it or not, I don't mind because first of all, they don't necessarily have to have the clicky sound. I believe I recommended Mad Dog a keyboard recently that is linear, which is that it doesn't really have a clicky sound. When you press it, it's smooth and you bottom out, and that's how you type. And then depending on the distance, it might actuate. You might not need to bottom it out all the way to be able to activate whatever letter you're typing. But anyway, I said I wasn't gonna go into details, and I feel like I'm going.
I know, but I appreciate that. Though. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Is it more responsive? Like in practicality, like are they more responsive?
They can be, although they are.
To me, I feel that they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They have been. There are some good membrane keyboards, believe it or not. They actually exist, and some of them are geared towards gamers. It's just because I use it for typing. I like to have that tactile response of what I'm typing, and each on a mechanical keyboard, each independent key is a switch that you press, and you can customize the type of, or not customize. You can choose to buy what type of keys you like. If you like a key that clicks, there's a type of switch for that I think is it might be. I think my wife's keyboard has that, which is very. I don't know if you guys can hear this.
Yeah.
You can hear like a click on it. That is that gives you that satisfying clicky sound if you're into that. Or you can have a linear like mine. Which,
it's amazing how something so simple and so basic could be.
You have no fucking no. Let me rephrase that. I had no fucking idea. There is absolutely. I thought that I knew. Hey, there's 3 switches: linear, clicky, and tactical. Not tactical.
Tactile?
That's not the word. Tactile. Thank you. And that was it, right? No, that's the fundamental problem. This is the rabbit hole that I went into when I went into the Reddit. Whatever hobby you have, or whatever hobby you have, don't fucking go into Reddit, because it'll ruin it for you with so much detail that you will be frustrated because you didn't know that there's many layers of insert your favorite hobby here.
Well, it sounds to me like you're broadening your knowledge. I don't see a problem with that.
Well, it is and it isn't. It is in the sense that I'm fascinated. I told you I spend almost my week every now and then. I will visit. I subscribe to it. I will check on the latest threads and stuff, and I participate, and I've been having fun with that. So I appreciate that section, but I haven't been doing anything else other than that. Also, not to mention, I have already spent money buying like particular sets of switches, a separate, a different keyboard that hasn't been released just yet. And that's the rabbit hole. I'm telling you, it gets
what
sickening.
The fuck, bro? What the fuck?
I think I sent a video of ProZD, who is a YouTuber, and he makes fun on this video. He compares it to basically water. You know water, and you think, hey, water is refreshing, and that's it, right? You like water, but then there is the Reddit section of it where they will go into, oh well, water. Sometimes I will recommend going with a pH level of 3, sometimes 4 if you feel more alkaline, and you don't want to have Dasani. So I will recommend for a new person, I will recommend Aquafina or some crazy shit like that. It'll go into like this level of intricacies that are way too not complex in the sense you can't understand them, complex in the sense that you couldn't believe that people will be paying attention to those level of details. And it will get so annoying because it'll get you interested in that shit, and next thing you know, you become one of them. So
that's how I got into brewing beer. That's exactly how I got to brewing beer.
Yes,
it was
you
like
went
they
to
started
Reddit.
talking about the. No, actually, it wasn't Reddit, but it was another.
Oh, then don't fucking go to Reddit because it'll ruin it for you.
I'm sure. I'll be right back into. I haven't made it like a brew in a while, and I don't know, but yeah, I know the feeling because I've done the same thing. It's like, man, you get into this thing before you know, you're talking about not just the proof, but the how what the efficiency of your brew is, and what the I can't even
When you
remember
were
the
telling
term
me,
now, but
when you were telling me, I have to have it heating, and it has to be at this temperature,
yeah, you got to
all
have
the
the right
time. I'm
temperature,
like,
and you got to hold that temperature for at least an hour, and
dude,
so you got to be able to yeah. So
I fucking finally understand all that all that shit. I mean, I'm talking about people that be into dismantling their keyboards, like on soldering,
mhm.
uh, like unsoldering them, opening the keys, lubricating the keys with a very particular type of lubricate. It's not gonna be like fucking WD's 40 or whatever you buy on an auto part. No, it has to be this specific hobby grade lubricant, and putting them together again, each individual one, and using using. Dude, I don't know. I don't. You know what? I'm done. I don't want to talk about this anymore. It is so much crap, but it's so fascinating. It's so fucking fascinating.
Nice,
I need to stop.
nice. Well,
Wow,
first off,
bro.
I appreciate the you know the sharing of the knowledge with me, and also I think you ended up picking up what is it, an armrest or something for the keyboard
No,
because
a
starting
wrist, a wristpad for you because you were complaining that you had
numbness.
you were
I'm getting
starting to
numbness on
feel a
my
little bit of
on my
uh
fingers,
so
and it's because I rest my wrist literally on the edge of the table as opposed to on the table like that. So it's literally just digging right into the wrist,
yeah,
and
that
I'm
can be
starting to get this.
problematic.
Yeah. So
I ended up by finding a wristband for it, but not any wristband. It had to be a particular one that had like a cooling gel, because you need to be comfortable. But it can't be this other time because this other time will get in between the keys, and then it won't let you press your keys. And I'm telling you, man, it was
wow.
you caught me at a very dark time. I fucking love Reddit so much now.
Oh my God! Good luck traversing the dark spaces of Reddit, sir.
Oh
Oh
no,
my
that's
goodness.
not to mention the changes that I've made to my table. Well, not changes, but positioning stuff on my desk to be more productive and more ergonomic, and clearing some cables out and all that kind of crap. And for some reason, that gives me so much satisfaction. And then when I'm done, I'm sitting and I'm like, I guess I can play now, but I could also maybe find a way to fix these other cables, make it look nicer. Maybe I can coil these cables because yes, you can actually coil your keyboard cable, which I'm not gonna do because I don't know how to do that, and that's more crazy out there. But that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. It's like, okay,
All right.
when the
So
when the fuck am I gonna play something?
in this case, I'm just gonna stop you right there and say thank you, Dream Twister, for filling us in how your week has been, and I'm gonna just throw it over to Chaos and go, hey, sir. Other than quitting your job and celebrating doing so, what else have you done this week?
Well, I just saw they have a free login campaign for Final Fantasy 14, so I think I'm gonna jump back on that for the next 8 days at least.
Oh shit! I
Oh,
didn't
okay.
know that you were out of Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, I've been out for a while, man. Especially with those pandemic and everything, and the money flow not being the same. It's hard to
Mm.
Uh,
keep up with up, man.
are they enforcing social distancing in game?
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, even then, like I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 7, which
Oh yes, you
if
have.
you've seen the streams,
Hmm.
the last stream I had, I could not finish it because the game literally blocks the scene, so you can't stream anything on the last chapter.
But you were playing it, right? You were playing it.
Yes,
You not streaming. Okay. Yeah,
I
I knew that was gonna happen. Because
yeah
he tells
I
you.
yeah I know. I just think it's stupid. Like I gotta do the whole streaming through the PC thing, but I haven't
Uh,
done that. So So that's gonna be the end of the Final Fantasy VII stream because I'm gonna have to finish it off stream.
Yeah.
I did try to finish it that same night, but I ran into a glitch.
Yeah,
Oh,
tell
an
me about
actual
this
glitch
glitch
this
you were
time.
mentioning. Yeah.
Yeah, I in the fight against the three arbiters of the big arbiter of fate and the three guys that actually fight you.
Yeah. By the
There's a
way, I guess we're
transition.
going into spoiler levels for a
Final
little bit,
Fantasy
right?
Seven.
Yep.
Well, not
Yeah.
really. I mean, there's no context to anything I'm saying, as
Oh, okay.
usual, apparently. So, so it just there's a transition in that fight, and when I like the characters transition, the enemies didn't. Like there was an enemy that was really far that I managed to shoot with a skill from Barrett, and then it disappeared, and then nothing else showed up.
The
Nothing
guy's
else
like,
happened.
fuck this shit. This guy's playing on hard. He's already got this far. I don't want to fight him. Nope.
So it was kind of this. I mean, I was tired, and I really just wanted to do it in one go, and I was like, well, fuck this shit. I'm out. I'll do this some other time. So I'm gonna have to redo that. Other than that, I think I did go back to Monster Hunter World because they released um, Cove Taroth, which was the first siege. I was gonna say raid, but it was the first siege fight they had for Monster Hunter World. They added it as a regular quest where you can upgrade the old Cove Taroth weapon into Master Rank.
So you don't need
So
to do
that's
the raid anymore.
Well, yes. If you want to get the base weapon, no, because I guess you can't turn some of the drops into weapons. So I guess no, you don't have to run the siege anymore. But it'd be the easier way of getting weapons, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. It
Yeah.
does to me. It doesn't really matter at this point because I'm not sure if they're better than the Safi Jiva weapons, which I spent hours getting and upgrading and shit.
Oh shit.
Which it's fine. I understand how this game works, and at some point they're gonna be obsolete. I just want them to be good for a little while longer, you know. And then they released the Arch-Temper Namil, which is one of the latest Elder Dragons that got included with Iceborne. I haven't tried that mainly because the day that I went back with Dark, and he told me that from what he could read at the moment, the rewards for Arch-Temper Namil is just not worth it. I still want to do it at least once to say that I did it, but I may not farm it at all. They did added more layered weapons, like more of the unique weapons. You can layer them now, so and they added more options for the layered weapons, so that's actually pretty awesome. For example, now you can grab there's these two dual blades, right? It's quite literally two fishes.
Two
Okay?
fishes.
There's just no other way I can say this. It's two fucking fishes, okay?
I just want to make sure I heard correctly.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
two
I was like,
fishes.
two fishes? Like in
And
a
Well, then
sea?
again, it's Monster Hunter, so of course,
right.
you know.
It's like the same way there's a giant frozen swordfish as a great sword. There's two fishes that work as dual blades. So they are one of the if not the strongest water dual weapons in the game. And I made them, and I was told that I could layer them, and at the moment I couldn't, and it was Rick that told me to do it. And I'm like, you son of a bitch! I did all this fishing and shit for two fucking fishes.
But that's all you needed, though.
Whatever. So, anyways, now you can actually layer unique weapons so they can look into something else, which is again fucking awesome because that's what we want. We want more customization. We don't want to be limited just because you think this weapon is unique. I can layer it into something else. That's fucking bullshit. And they still haven't done the current armor sets into layered sets, which really sucks because there are some armor sets that look so fucking awesome, and there's no way to really show them off because either they don't work for the weapons that you're using, or the set of that armor, like overall, is just trash. Like the skills that you get, or the slots that you get out of it, it's just not worth it.
See, that's the reason I don't want to go back to Monster Hunter World.
because you
You
can't
barely
customize.
started it, bro. What are you talking
I
about?
mean, how far
I
did you
kid, I
even
kid.
get?
Oh no,
Anyways,
I never beat it. I was very happy with what I was playing, but the moment I saw how bullshit the online was, I was like, nope, this game is
I
not finished.
mean, I get
It's
it.
bullshit.
Believe me, I get it, and I hate it for what it is. But once you finish a story and you don't have to worry about cutscenes and shit anymore,
Mm.
dude, it is so much fun to just have a constant group, and you can either like if you're doing hunts in the same area, you just go back to camp and not to base, and the loading is considerably faster.
That's what annoys me. It's like, oh, once you actually play the game completely, then we're gonna let you play with your friends normally, and that's what bothers me. But we had this conversation like ten
Yeah,
times already.
yeah.
So.
Anyway, so I did I did play a little bit of Warframe, but I haven't been fully back like on it. It's like I played the event here and there a little bit, but I didn't farm it as much as I wanted to, honestly, because other games came up. You know, mainly Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I have been spending more time on Apex because the season is almost over, and I'm battle pass level 91, and I want to get to 93 because there's an emote that you get for Wraith that I don't have, because Wraith is, I think, my only character that doesn't have a fucking emote when she's falling out of the sky. I don't know why that's important. Leave me the fuck alone. I want the goddamn emote,
I
okay?
said nothing. You know what?
I could hear your thoughts, man.
No,
It's
there's
okay.
Well,
probably
I'm gonna be
there's
honest. I'm judging you, sir. So
That's that's fine.
just gonna throw that out there.
But I have no
I
other
spent
goals in
1,000
that
hours,
game.
1,000 hours for this sprite.
Kind of, yes. Anyways, I mean, I did get a whole bunch of other shit, and I did get enough coins, Apex coins, to buy the next battle pass for free.
Hmm.
So I've only bought two battle passes in this game, and I'm gonna get my fifth one when it comes out. So it's $20 for $50 worth of I guess content, you could say, but it's
Yeah, yeah. I
really
mean,
not
and
much.
you're doing it playing, which is what you like to do with it
Right,
anyway.
right.
So, yeah, yeah.
So
Can't
I
judge you for that, sir. I cannot judge you for that.
I would have streamed yesterday and today, like throughout the day, that I was playing Apex, but I couldn't because I didn't want to like hint at you guys at all that I was not working.
Wow, nice.
I was committed. I was committed to this surprise.
Committed to the bit.
He wanted to
Yes.
show up. Yeah, I would say, damn, son.
So,
Uh,
but I did play today. Me and my wife won a duos game, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
Actually, we won in one of the streams as well, which was awesome. I got super excited. I think I ended up like screaming at the end of that match. I
but
get super excited when I win.
by the way, I kind of have to say, I kind of want to thank you actually. I love the fact that there has been this sudden uh, reemergence of is that a word? Fuck, I don't even know how to
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, so we're
This interest suddenly in streaming again because I don't stream honestly, and it's I try. I bought the equipment at some point, and I ended up just giving it away because I know
I even tried
it's
to
not my
force you.
personality. It's not in me. I play. I don't play on a schedule. Yada yada. But like you have been streaming lately, you know, a lot and very entertaining. I might add. And
Well,
also, I
thank
feel like.
you.
In the group, oh man, in the group, we've actually also have had a sudden resurgence. Actually, that was the word I was looking for. Of streamers that have come. I feel like they have come out of nowhere. Like I see Jason has streamed, but he has been a lot more active lately. There
Yeah,
is
he's not got his own YouTube channel. Like he's doing content for the YouTube channel specifically.
yeah. There's this dude that I really like his stuff. I don't know where he came from to the group or if he just discovered or was invited by someone or someone knows him. But he's it says that the geeky teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I seen it. I've seen a couple of his stuff around. Yeah, that's
Dude,
pretty cool.
that is awesome.
There's also somebody called I might mispronounce this, but I think it's like Bahaliel. It's Bahaliel. Yeah, something like that.
Bahaliel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We were
I think
probably butchering the name.
Yeah, I think Bahaliel occasionally jumps, or may have jumped over from Nivel Escondido, because
Oh, really?
sort of remember seeing that name pop up on some of their streams. So that could be where that
Ah,
connection's coming
Which, by
from.
the way,
Um,
it's funny you bring Nivel Escondido up because I was about to mention that was my next thing that I was gonna mention.
before you do
Go
another
ahead,
shout
go
out,
ahead, go ahead.
another shout out. I'm basically shouting out the people that I've seen streaming lately. Uh, Evie Repart. Evie, that's another person that has been
mhm.
actually that might be that she might be the same. She might be Bahaliel. She might have to. I'm gonna have to check on this Evie because if you're Bahaliel and you're also Evie Report, I'm gonna have to regulate a little bit some of your posts here. I'm kidding. It's totally
Wow,
fine. We don't care about
he's
that.
already
Uh,
prepping that ban hammer. You saw that
no,
shit,
no,
man,
no,
dog?
no.
I saw it. I saw it. I
I
felt
just
it.
I
I
was
was
just
like,
going
whoa.
through the I was just going through the names and I see like the picture profile. It's like, wait a minute, is that the same person? One of them is black and white. I can't really tell. But anyway, definitely check out her channel. The Geeky Teacher. I think his name might be Luis Miranda. I could be completely wrong on that. And also our very own Jason Fariello. He has some awesome content also. And now the Chaos, which I don't know how regularly. We're not gonna put him on the spot. You don't have to make yourself on a schedule. But I am so happy to see you jump in from time to time.
Well, okay. It was. I had a conversation with Dark, and honestly, he just told me like, I don't know why you don't stream more often. Like, if you're playing, you should be streaming. Period. That kind of hit me. Like, I mean, I don't see why not, right? So
Yeah,
that's just what I've been doing. If I'm playing, I'm streaming. Fuck it.
yeah, yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's a boring segment. If I'm just grinding mindlessly at something, like doesn't matter what it is. Just stream it. If somebody pops up, whatever, we'll talk. We'll have fun. It is what it is, you know. And he's been
Cool.
taking part a lot of the streams as well. Like I actually like I'm always talking to him, and just we go into like some really random shit every now and then.
Yeah, it's very
Um,
amusing.
yeah, I'm glad you enjoy it. Really, thank you. I appreciate that.
No man, this is the
Now,
moment. This is the moment to bring up the Fight Club,
yes,
the
I
Bacalao
this
Fight Club.
this Tuesday, this Cinco de Mayo, actually, ironically, I took part of the Nivel Escondidos Bacalao Fight Club.
Yeah,
Nice.
you did. Woo!
Nice.
Yes, I did. I was invited by Sparrow Wolf to. I mean, I didn't issue the challenge. It was more like I was
It was an
forced
invite.
to, I guess.
Yeah,
It was
Yeah,
an
I
invite.
guess.
It was an invite.
yeah.
That's like any illegal tournament anywhere. You get there by invite. You know what I mean?
Right,
That's how
you
that
get
happens.
invited.
Hey, that's how it happened to to the members of Earth Realm. You know,
Correct.
Yeah, I guess
Exactly.
they got
just who came in.
invited.
They didn't get an invite. They were just chosen. You know, you were
Yeah.
chosen.
So I played against Metaverse PR, or DJ Kaku as that's his PSN name,
Uh,
and on Mortal Kombat 11. And the rules were as follows: we were going to fight for 2 hours, and in those 2 hours, the first thing we had to do was fight using each character without repeating. So we
which
cannot
character?
repeat characters until we played every single character in the roster. I did specify that I do not own Shao Kahn, which you have to buy separately. I think it's like $5 or $6, and I'm not gonna buy him at this point, which I'll get into in a little bit. But so let me see. When we finished the roster, we did 30 fights, right? And by the end of that, the score was 24-6 on my favor.
Damn, 24-6 on your favor.
On my favor, yes.
Damn, son,
That's a shellacking right there.
Yes, that's what you lacking. Whatever
That's
that
and I jumped into this fight blind. Like I didn't really look in.
means. Oh, you were playing blind. Holy shit, you're good.
I didn't look into like whether he played this game before or who did he use or how good. Like I didn't look into anything. I practiced a couple of times here and there before the actual Fight Club. I practiced with Dark for like 2 straight hours, where I legit lost my shit at one point. Because let me tell you, like the way Metaverse felt at the end of that whole stream is how I always felt every time I played with Dark.
Dark is like freaking Yoda.
Basically, because I mean, it was I went. I mean, once we could repeat characters, and I just used Spawn and Sub-Zero, I went as hard as I possibly could.
Damn.
And at one point, I even noticed that he just stopped moving. The character was not even fighting; like he wasn't fighting back anymore. And like I've actually that day I did that with Dark. Like before all of that, I did that with Dark. I was getting my hands handed to me so hard. Like, all right, bro, you got it. Just finish it off. It's like, oh, come on, man. Don't be like, nah, bro. Just finish the goddamn fight. Let's start the next one already. Because fuck this.
Damn.
So for some background, Bacalao Fight Club is an actual
It's an event. I don't know
it's
how
an event that
often
they have.
hold it. Yeah.
I thought it was like weekly or maybe twice a month. I don't want to say because I might be wrong. As a matter of fact, I think I am. I know I am. So, but it happens on the Nivel Escondido channel.
Yes.
That's part of their scheduled
Programming. Yeah.
And it's very fun because the idea is it doesn't always have to be competitive games in the sense of one versus one, right? It could be, let's play a game like Sekiro, for example, and whoever gets in the past of 2 hours, whoever gets the furthest, that will be crowned the winner. So it's not always a versus type game.
Oh, really? I always thought it was just fighting games.
Well, I also thought I thought that also because of the name, but no,
right.
It could
figure, right?
It could be on anything. Like they have they should have known because I remember seeing the Cuphead one they had one, and it was basically I don't remember who were quote unquote fighting at that point, but it was whoever was getting the furthest.
So wait, maybe that's what I saw when it was Sparrow versus Surfing Boy on Meat Boy, Super Meat Boy. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. It's that.
Which, by the way, Sparrow lost that one.
Come on, Sparrow. No, I see that guy knows how he knows how to play Cuphead. I think he was the one actually playing Cuphead. Now that I think about it. I don't remember if he won though.
So anyways, the score at the end was 29-6.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I had fun.
I'm sure they did, sir.
Everybody on stream looked like they were having fun. Not gonna lie, I'm not sure if Metaverse had fun, but if he didn't, I don't blame him.
Oh, I'm sure they're all very good sport over there. So
heck yeah,
I'm sure.
He got a rage quit at the end.
I think there was a misunderstanding if this was gonna be the last fight or not. I don't know.
Well, so they were people were on the chat were asking for one more so we could even it out at 30. I mean, 30 wins because it wasn't 30 fights because we were doing 35 fights already at that point. But he wasn't there by the time I tried to invite him.
But it was still
maybe next time.
No, I mean they did get an extra fight. It was me versus Dark, and I got my ass handed to me.
Yeah, we saw that. It was like the Grandmaster had to show up. The main event.
he because I mean he was, and we fought like a couple more fights after we shut off the stream. And because he was so hyped up over it after that, he I didn't win. I don't think I won at all after.
That's what happens when you take on Shen Long. Just saying.
Yeah.
You do have to defeat Shen Long to stand a chance. That's right.
I got beat so hard. So I'm just going to say thank you, Nivel Escondido. Thank you, Sparrow, for having me over. I had a lot of fun and watching the. They were making fun of me because they're saying like, "Oh, look, he's so good, he can type and play at the same time." Like, no, I'm typing comments in between fights. But I kept looking at the chat, and it was just hilarious. I actually want to go back and listen to the commentary because I didn't have a chance to.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What's the name of this person that was actually that was commentating on it, was hosting. It was actually very entertaining to listen to. At some point, I have to admit, I was watching. I have both streams, right? I had the Nivel Escondido and the GG stream, and at some point, his stream, the Nivel Escondido stream, was very sort of esporty, like, and then you put our stream and it's this guy with Dark just cursing out each other. Oh, what's happening? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and mute this one for a second. Sorry, Chaos, I love you, bro, but I'm still seeing the fight.
Who was it? Alex Gatonejo? Who was the?
No, it wasn't Alex.
No, it wasn't Alex.
Was it Surfing Boy that was commenting there?
I hate to admit, I don't know. I don't know them by face well enough to remember. And
yeah, I don't either. Actually, if it's not Sparrow there, if I don't see Sparrow's mug there, or Alex, I actually do remember Alex.
Whoever you were, you were awesome. It was a very entertaining show. I commented on them. I commented on yours also. I was.
Yeah, you were talking shit about me, bro. I saw you. You want to fight me, bro? You want to 1v1 me?
No, never. I will never, sir.
I'll show you my Sub-Zero.
No, I don't want to see your Sub-Zero. That's cold, man.
Don't worry. I uninstalled the game.
Oh
wow. Okay.
There's reasons for that. I guess I'll get into it in the news, but other than all the reasons that I listed, because I did tell you guys about it before, and I ranted why. It does have to do with my health because I get really agitated in those games.
Pressure. Gotcha.
Yeah. Like, again, when I was practicing with Dark, like, you would have not recognized me, bro. That shit was so bad. I was raging so hard. So,
you know what's funny? I was watching stream. For some reason, I started watching Twitch streams the next day of precisely of Mortal Kombat because I had so much fun watching it. And dude, even the guys over there, they just freaking rage. They rage like you're not normally used to seeing. But and this is supposedly a streamer, an everyday streamer or whatever, an established person. And it'll be like that. It'll be like they get out of the room, they throw controllers, they'll be cursing out. It's like, yep, you typically
really?
It's not just you. So.
Okay,
oh yeah, that's pretty typical. Yeah, that's for sure.
I guess fighting games do that to you.
Because
yeah,
I try to keep my cool on stream as much as I can, but holy shit, man. There's just some, and again, when you fight, and I did tell Dark this on the stream, like, when you fight somebody like Dark, like, you have to do everything so frame perfect, because if you fuck up, you're dead. You lost. There's no way around it, because he's gonna make everything fucking frame perfectly, and that's it.
Wow.
And let me tell you, like, you press buttons and like some random shit happens. Like, this happens to me a lot because I crouch a lot, and then I try to go back, and then if I press triangle, then he'll do a special move. But it's not because I wanted to, it's because I pressed it, because I went from down to back to triangle so fast, the game thought I wanted to do that. That's not what I wanted to do, game. What the fuck are you doing to me? So those are the moments. Dark. Yeah, those are the moments. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Dark, who's always there, and actually encouraged me to stream more. So hey, thank you.
Yeah. Good
I did watch a movie, and I did finish watching Hunter x Hunter. Let me get that out of the way first. I did finish watching Hunter x Hunter on Crunchyroll, and today I started watching Demon Slayer. I'm not gonna say the rest of the name because I don't remember it right now. But so far it's pretty cool. I like it. By the way, I love the Hunter x Hunter finale. It was that whole Chimera Ant arc was really cool. There was some really cool moments there. I wish there would have been more fights, but again, that show, just a lot of the characters just like carrying me through the whole thing, and even to the end, it was like that. Just the character development and this, the friendship that all these characters that they have grown and whatever. I really did like it. I hopefully at some point they'll do more of it. I don't know how long it's been since they did any Hunter x Hunter, but I need more.
Make it happen.
Make it happen, please and thank you. So I did watch Extraction.
Oh, there it is.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
Finally sat down and saw. God, that was such a good movie,
right?
People are comparing it to John Wick. I don't think it's John Wick.
Nor do I. John Wick is way more mystical at this point.
Yeah, but
fine. I said that it was. I said that it was John Wick, and I stand by it. And when I said, I didn't say John Wick 2, or I didn't say Lord of the John Wick 3, or whatever the fuck it ended up being and becoming. I said original John Wick, which was very down to earth fight, no wire fu bullshit or anything crazy. Which this one wasn't either.
Not even to the first one. It's just I feel like it's a different type of action movie, but it is a very good action movie regardless. Like it doesn't matter what you want to compare it to. On its own, it's an amazing movie. I highly recommend it. God damn, I heard they were gonna make a second one. Please. I mean, just don't milk the shit out of it. But god damn, it was just the set pieces and the bond between what is it, Rake?
Yeah.
And Ovi, was the name of the kid was Ovi or something like that? Yeah. Right. That was really good. I really liked it. What do you guys think of it? I personally give it a 9 out of 10.
Oh, I don't remember how I scored it, but I know that
I don't think we did. Yeah, I don't think we did
at
all.
I don't think we did. I think we were just content with, hey, this movie
with the fact that it exists.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. It has one of the best one shot action sequences that I think I've ever seen. It's like literally 12 minutes of one continuous camera shot as it's going through the back of a car into the upstairs and falling off falling out of a window with the. It was ridiculous. It's absolutely the most ridiculous scene. My only issue is that was like the best part, and that was like in the middle. You know what I mean? The rest of it's good. It's just it kind of never hit that sort of peak. But I can't take credit for this because I didn't make it up, although it is kind of humorous. This movie is best described to say that the main character's name is Tyler Rake, and he kills someone with a rake.
I know.
And that kind of sums it up so well because it's like, okay, so this is just action. You're like, yeah, pretty much. And the guy's name is Tyler Rake, and he kills somebody with a rake. You know what I mean? It's just all comes
that
together.
Happened. That's in the movie, and I noticed it.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, well, this is appropriate.
It wouldn't have made any sense anywhere else, too.
Nope. This right here, this is where killing someone with a rake makes absolute sense. So go right ahead.
Pretty much.
Who was the director of this movie? Does anybody know? Like, is it anybody we know?
Actually, it is. Well, we don't know him as in hasn't actually really directed anything else. He's actually a stunt coordinator. He did a lot of stunt work for a lot of the Marvel films. He also played the stunt double for Captain America in Captain America. I think it was either Winter Soldier or I think it was Winter Soldier. So you're seeing, there's a beauty of having him as a director. You're seeing that stunt coordinator's vision of an action film. You know what I mean? Which is why it stands out that way. He's also the one in the movie, the one with the beard, the sniper. That's actually the director.
Yeah, that was wild. I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's the director. Yeah, that's him. So he's even in it. Yeah. So, but it's a great film. It's a great little film. I actually kind of want to watch it again. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I've been up to this week.
Nice. Well, first off, I'm glad you watched Extraction, and I'm glad you liked this. We both came off of it last week. Like, holy crap, it's so much fun. It's a fun movie, regardless of what happens. And off the air, I'm going to ask you a question about it. I won't do it now because I don't want to spoil anything. As for me, what I have done, I stopped playing Final Fantasy VII and I uninstalled it. I was like, okay, I'm done. I don't need to play anymore. And I was like, it's 100 gigs. I need that 100 gigs back. Give me that shit back. And so,
shit, you're talking about remake. You're done with the remake.
Yeah.
So
wait, how far? Like, what did you do after you cleared it? Did you do anything extra?
No,
or?
I just started from the beginning. I started same difficulty. When I ended the game, I ended it at level 35, and beginning the game at level 35 was a smackdown on everybody. Really, I mean, I actually took video of it. I just haven't posted yet. I beat Reno's ass like it was almost embarrassing. It's like compared to the first time, I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? And so part of me wanted to try it again because once, towards you get to the end of the game, you really kind of understand the mechanics and everything. And I kind of wanted to just kind of go over. I was like, no, I'm not going to do this now. And then I was just like, I'm done. At some point, I'm like, I feel like I'm just repeating. I'm not even really listening to the story. I'm just kind of wanting to go to the next scene. And I was like, okay, I'm not really into this anymore. Yeah. And not that it's bad or anything. It's just I already have it. I've already had my fill of it. I still own it, so I can fucking play it again if I really want to jump back into it at any point. But that's really why. And I think I ended the game, starting the game over 35, and I probably made it to chapter 8, and I was only at like level 39, so wasn't leveling up as fast at all. And so I was just like, okay,
destroying everything already.
For sure. It was funny and fun at the same time. It's pretty cool to be able to just slap Reno around that fucker.
When I fought Rufus, even on hard mode, like the difference was monumental. Like I owned that dude so hard.
Yeah. It's different when you have all the abilities, and it's like, man, because you can line everything up. That's what I was doing. I was lining everything up. I would start one person, get their move going, move on to the next person, get their move going. By the time it was over, it was dead. I was like, okay, that was a good fight. Good fight, good try. I did mention last week I started the Return of Obra Dinn, and I finished the Return of Obra Dinn. And
yes, you did, mofo.
That game, let me tell you, that game is very special. It's very special. I didn't think I didn't know how I was gonna feel about it. But it was just the desire to discover the mystery of what's going on. Chaos, I don't know if you're aware of what Obra Dinn is, so I'm just going to quick little synopsis here. So you play as literally an insurance agent in the 18th century, right? A ship, an adjuster, yeah, a ship. Yeah, a ship goes on a trip, whatever, and it gets lost at sea, and they finally find the ship and they bring it back, and now you are there to determine what happened. On the ship, what happened to the crew and whatever. And the reason for this is because you need to pay out what you need to pay out to families and whatever. That's the point of it. As you are discovering stuff, you have this book that little by little fills in as you discover things. But you got to be able to unlock, or you have to be able to guess properly 3 people at a time. So, and at 3 people at a time, you have to guess 3 things for them. What's their name? What happened to them? And if it applies, who did it to them? So in other words, what happened to the captain? He was shot by this person. He was shot dead by this person. You know what I mean? And then you have to get 3. And if you get those 3, the game will like essentially etch them in stone, essentially say, okay, you got these right. And so I was like, oh man, this is great. And you're going through these memories while you're going through the ship. And let me tell you, that ship basically went through hell, guys. There is a kraken involved at some point. There is some crazy ass beasts involved at some point. It's just like, man, this ship might as well be the same ship from from what's that horror movie? I can't think of the name of horror movie now. Event Horizon. It went to hell and then came back. You know, it's just like that's might as well be the same ship.
I was gonna say the Nishimura.
The Ishimura too. We'll call it that. Yeah, we'll call it that. Yeah. So anyway, so as you go through the thing now, the whole deal is there's 60 crew members, and technically you can finish the game without figuring out everybody. I didn't get to it. I think I got to a good 35, maybe 30 something around there. I know it's past the halfway point because there's something that kind of shows you. So I was like, but the whole is I got the majority of the people. At some point, you're really just kind of filling in blanks to who is this one dude who all he does is move the sails, you know, and whatever. You know what I mean? It's like they're not really, you know, that important to the main story of what was going on, but you can fill in who they are as well. And at some point, I was just like, I don't have any more information, or maybe I'm not finding it. And so at some point I was just guessing a lot. So I was just like, oh, let me just, maybe this is it. And if it would, I think if it would allow you to unlock one as you got them, like one person at a time, instead of 3 at a time, then I think I would be able to finish it a little bit better. But 3 at a time is like, man, you have 3 people and you have 3 things for each that you need to do, and if you don't do them right, it doesn't etch them in stone to tell you got your right choices. So
does
the
game penalizes you for making wrong choices?
No, not at all.
Oh,
not at all. It's so just, but it won't tell you. You don't. Well, so as you are making guesses, your character is writing in pencil into the book. If you get it right, it'll go into like a cutscene. And then make those, instead of the pencil written, they're actually typed to let you know you got them right. But if you get it wrong, it just never does that. So it's like it's never. You're just trying to fill in as much as possible, and hopefully you'll get some of that right.
And it's not like you can retry unless you.
You can. You can move the name around. Yeah, you can say, oh, maybe this isn't Josh Daniels. Maybe it's this person. You know what I mean? And switch it to that name. And then there's people you also have to look at them sometimes. Like there's Asian folk and there's Asian names. So I'm like, well, I guess this looks like a Chung Li. Why not? Let's put a Chung Li in there. You know what I mean? And then see what happens. And as the
I'm kidding.
Well, I'm just saying, because the manifest has the name where they're from, and it will say, oh, they're from China or whatever. And so, anyway, it's really cool, very different. Difficult to recommend because if anything I just said does not sound interesting, then just don't do it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was going to be interesting, or rather, I didn't know I was going to be as interested. Obviously, I bought the game, so I was intrigued. But I didn't realize I was going to fall into that rabbit hole where I was even telling my wife, honey, you listen to this voice. Does that sound Russian or does that sound, you know what I mean? And I was just like, and she'll be like, well, that word is Russian. So I was like, okay, so then I start looking at the manifest. Where's the Russian guy? This Russian guy was here. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's one of those weird mystery type things. And it was interesting.
You know what's funny is the first time I heard about that game, which must have been a Jam Bobcast podcast, and I heard the description of it. I was like, man, I really would like to see this game be played by Bad Dog. Too bad he's just not gonna pay attention to it because it's a PC game. And then they port it to a console, and then you play it and you beat it. So it's like, oh, this is too perfect. This worked way too good. I could have wished for anything else. GTA 5 again.
Yeah. The the funny thing was at the end, right? Because you get off the ship, and you can obviously get off the ship earlier if you need to be, but you have to open up all the memories. And if you do, and you don't unlock everything, then your manifest goes to whatever, and then you start. A week later, you get the payout, right? And you kind of go through all. At this point, you spent so much time seeing the people in the ship that you start seeing. Oh, okay, that's what they did, and this person betrayed this person. So instead of getting money, their estate gets fined. You know what I mean? It's like, oh shit, you know. So anyway, I'm not gonna dwell too much on it. It's a really cool game. Very very
awesome.
different. Very very different. And then as far. Then that's basically as far as gaming. As far as if I watch anything, what I did watch, first off, I rewatched the film that I really, really want you guys to watch at some point, at any point, and it is called Annihilation. It is probably the most high sci-fi film that I've seen in a while. Probably along the lines of Arrival. I don't know if anybody's seen Arrival, but
Yes, I've seen. I saw Arrival.
kind of along the lines of that, and maybe a little bit more sci-fi-ish. You know what I mean? It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very different. And for the record, it has an ending, so if that helps.
Yeah, Arrival plays too.
So, but
It's kind of
anyway,
crazy, but yeah.
this one here, this one's a little bit more into the horror side of it, so it's not as like Arrival. There is some horror elements to it, but nothing to the point of whatever. But it is. I just watched it again, and I've been dying to watch it again, and it honestly almost benefits watching it again, because now that you understand everything's going on, you go with a clear picture with everything's from the beginning, and it's so good, dude, so good. And I feel like I'm overselling it, so I'm gonna just say it's good. Leave it at that.
I feel like I'm overselling and say, you know what?
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah. So it's just, if you really go into it and really think like high sci-fi, it's I can't think of anything else. The visuals are some of the best visuals, and just the thoughts behind it. Those type of movies that'll have a certain meaning. It's not hidden when you have to kind of piece together. It's there, but it's just like, oh man, I didn't think about that. It's anyway really cool. Won't get into it.
It's definitely it's not like it's not the platform where it's just like, hey, wouldn't it be crazy if this is it's
no.
It's
so I can give you the I can give you
Okay.
the premise of it, because it's basically from there. But basically,
Sure.
at some point, something comes from space and basically lands on or near a lighthouse in America, of course, because it always happens in America. So after that happens,
America.
a shimmer starts to form around the lighthouse, and little by little grows. It's very, very little by little that it takes to the point where it's now 3 or 4 years later, and the shimmer is about the size of a little town, or maybe a town, right?
Wow.
And so they've obviously the government has sent people in to go find out what's going on. No one ever comes back. There's just the truth. No one ever comes back. So. Of course, we get to our no one ever comes back, and this is at the very beginning, so not really that much of a spoiler, but someone does, and it is the husband of, who's played by Oscar Isaac, is the husband of the main character, who is played by Natalie Portman. And Natalie Portman is a biologist. And so this time she ends up getting part of a crew that goes in there. But every time they've sent anybody in, it's all been military. They never come back. So this time they said, let's send in. They send in the biologists. They send in psychologists. These people maybe who can understand things as they're in there, and not because everybody's been gone. What they find in there is crazy. Obviously, I know to sell that point. That's basically sci-fi at that point, right? But it's just the setup of it all. It's just really well done. It's a really well thought out sci-fi film that you can probably watch several times and get something out of it each time. Like if you think about what makes Matrix so good, you can watch it multiple times and something new, something something that you didn't notice before. Something clicks at this point. Go, oh man, I didn't think of the philosophy behind that. You know what I mean? So that's basically the same thing here. Anyway, really good stuff. And I had to watch it again, which is why I watched it. And the last thing I did, guys, I just recently watched a movie called The Lighthouse. This movie is definitely not for any of you. I'm gonna say, I love you guys, but I'm calling it. You guys are not going to like this film. So do not watch it.
Appreciate the warning. All right.
Okay. That said, I enjoyed it. It was good. It's one of those weird films where it's filmed in black and white. And not only that, it's also filmed. It's not even in 4:3. It's basically a square. It's like just a square thing, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And because it's supposed to be a back in that time, I guess. And I guess that makes sense.
It's filmed in 1995 internet video streaming. There you go. With real player. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. And so it actually takes place. Like I said, it's black and white. It takes place. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, it's basically the story. These two guys, They come to this lighthouse. They're sort of on a rotation. They get there to there's caretakers of the lighthouse, and they're there for 4 weeks. Is what their I don't know. Their orders are to be there for the 4 weeks and then switch out with somebody else. Of course, something happens. They end up getting stuck there, and little by little, they slip into madness. And their madness is funny at some times, and it is insane at other times. You know what I mean? Because that's why I kept watching it, because I was just laughing at some point. And I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. And then at some point, you go and say, oh my God, that's disturbing. So it has that weird, I don't know. It's almost, you don't even understand the feeling it's trying to give you. You know what I mean? But anyway, it does star Robert Pattinson, which is obviously the future Batman. And like I said, I've been kind of going through some of what Robert Pattinson's films just to say, all right, let's see what this guy has. And I still say he has range. He has range. He can definitely. I don't know if that means he's a good Batman, but he's definitely not Team Edward. You know what I'm saying? He should not be judged by just that. You know what I mean? He has more range, and that's I think what I was trying to say before.
Sparkling vampire.
Yeah. He shouldn't be judged by being a sparkling vampire, even though he was. I think what painted him in that light is because that film, obviously, or that series of films, was so big. It was everywhere. Books were out there. People were loving it. Everybody wanted to go see the next one. That was a blockbuster, where all these other films that he does are not blockbusters. You know what I mean? And that helped him, leap into the type of films he wants to do, because that made him popular in order to get there. So I give him that. But yeah, anyway, the movie's called The Lighthouse, and do not watch it. Just take my word for it that it's good. So if somebody asks, you can tell them, hey, I heard it's good. You know what I mean? So,
I heard.
Did you watch it? No, I was told not to.
I was told not to, but I heard it's nominated for an Academy Award.
Is it really?
Who told me it was good? The same guy that told me not to watch it?
And you just leave them like, what in the world? Now I gotta watch it.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's good, man. That's all I can tell you.
There you go.
Or is it?
Or is it? And that, gentlemen, is all that I have been doing. And I believe that it is time for the useless news that you guys can use.
You mean like now?
Like now? Right now.
Okay.
Okay, it is.
Let's go.
Nice.
Yo, that was kind of silly.
No, I'm sorry.
Go-go?
The go-go was better than silly. I'm sorry to say.
Well, you know what? Screw you.
Should have known. I'd get that. I am going to start with my first news piece. Writer-director, or Taika Waititi, is set to make the new
Very
Star
well
Wars
pronounced.
film. Thank you. I wasn't even sure. Taika Waititi is the director of Thor Ragnarok and Jojo Rabbit. And it will direct and co-write the new Star Wars movie for theatrical release, Lucasfilm announced on Monday. He'll co-write it, with Academy Award nominee Christy Wilson Cairns, who wrote 1917 and Last Night in Soho, and received BAFTA awards for Outstanding British Film for 1917, which is a great film for the record. That's just me saying that. Waititi's current project is a fourth Thor film for the Marvel Studios called Thor: Love and Thunder. The director also worked on Star Wars television series The Mandalorian, directing the 8th episode of that season. So he's got some history in Star Wars, and I can appreciate his directing chops, essentially. I just don't know. I'm just done with Star Wars, so I don't even care.
I was just gonna say.
I
I
don't
was
even
just
care.
gonna
Like
say.
it's like I get it. I'm glad that he's involved. I like his stuff. He always plays a role in his own films, which a lot of directors like to do now. But he always plays like a role that's very different. Like you, if you've seen Jojo Rabbit, he plays the imaginary, the kid's imaginary friend who is Hitler.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
that's it.
yeah. So that's the director, and he does silly shit like that. So I'm like, I would love to see what he brings to Star Wars, but at the same time, I still don't care. After Rise of Star Wars, I really feel like I just don't care.
I think the rise of
Skywalker.
whatever.
Rise of
Yeah,
Skywalker. God damn it.
Rise of Skywalker.
Did I say Star Wars? I started that, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
More like the fall of
Okay.
Star Wars. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
bravo! Nice.
I'm sorry.
But it's the I think I'm also done with Star Wars. Well, at least with getting excited about any property. Like I never subscribed to Disney Plus to watch The Mandalorian, even though I did had a little bit of interest on it. But I figure at some point maybe I'll check it out. And now I'm hearing like stupid pieces of news like, oh, they're gonna bring Boba Fett. It's gonna be on The Mandalorian because of fucking course it's gonna be on The Mandalorian because that is the most Star Wars thing to do. Just
It is
hey.
now. It's the thing. It's like it's no. You're right. You're right. I'll take that back. It is not just now. It's just what it's always been.
Yeah.
Always. And it's just like, why? Why do you need to bring back anybody? It's a universe. Make up some people. You know what I mean?
Because they are creatively bankrupt already. They really don't have.
I disagree.
This is the way. They actually jingle the keys to. Hey, you remember this character, right? Well, guess what? We're gonna bring it down on this series because we already did on the freaking prequels, and we have to bring it.
I honestly,
we're
I
not
have
making
to
the movie.
It's all. I think it's all about familiarity. I'm saying that wrong somehow. Basically, thank you. It's all about that, and the reason it's about that is because Disney is just trying to the mass market. It's like, wait, we have to include someone that everybody knows because if we don't, the less people will go see it. Less people will be interested, and that's really the only thing, man. That's really
point, actually.
Is it? Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry. I felt like you were.
I mean, honestly, I think there's two ways you go around it. You could create something that we haven't seen. Fuck, there is a whole new era of Star Wars that they're talking about making, or there's always the Old Republic, even things that you could do with Star Wars that you don't have to rely on. Well, let's bring Palpatine, or let's bring Boba Fett, or let's just show Jar Jar Binks because when he was a baby, or whatever the hell. You don't have to rely that. You use that as a clutch almost because you're concerned that you are not going to hit it with this new material. Mandalorian, I guess he was doing fine. What he was doing, sure, they had to bring something relatable to Yoda, so let's bring Baby Yoda, which okay, he might not be Yoda, but he's still Baby Yoda. Come on, but that's fine. That's still okay. But no. Now they're gonna bring Boba Fett, and you can bet that they're gonna tie up even more characters from the series because everybody, or they're gonna relate more characters on the series because they are creatively bankrupt. Honestly, Disney doesn't know what to do with with the property. Unfortunately,
I think honestly, it's just they can literally take a perfect example. Did you guys see the movie Predators?
With an S?
No.
With an S, yes. This is the one that and this is in the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler, but spoiler warning anyway. Stars Adrian Brody, and it's these people wake up in the middle of a jungle, and suddenly they're being hunted, and they don't understand why. You know what I mean? And each one of them is from a different one. One is a Marine, one is a freedom fighter, another one is a Yakuza, another one is a whatever. And so they're brought there obviously to to train almost the predators, right? And that's what you've discovered. You figure you think you're on Earth, but they're not, because at some point someone says, "Oh, the sun hasn't moved in like the last 2 hours. Something's wrong," and they realize they're not on Earth. They're on another planet. They literally got abducted from Earth and brought there to be trained to train predators. An amazing premise for a Predator film. Completely different from all the other Predator films. What, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's all you need to do. You just need to have an original idea and then build Star Wars around it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to. That doesn't mean you bring in a Skywalker. That just means you build Star Wars around it. Star Wars is more than Skywalkers. It can have Jedi. It can have, or it doesn't even have those. You know, it can just have blasters and spaceships, and you know what I mean. That's what made
Isn't
Rogue
that what the
One so
Mandalorian
awesome.
is, though?
You know what I mean?
Or
Yes,
isn't that...
it was, until now they bringing in Boba Fett. The Mandalorian was great because of the fact that it was, all right. I take that back. It wasn't great. It was good. I personally was stressed because I think it was good, and what was great about it was the special effects. They obviously put money into this, but obviously it's not enough. That's what they're looking at. They go, "We need more people. We need more people. We're spending a lot of money on this show. Not a lot of people. Who knows how many people have dropped off of Disney Plus because nothing's coming out for it." You know, it's the same $6. It's like, what's the same bullshit movies? What the hell's new here? Nothing. You know what I mean? So,
ta-da!
Yeah,
What a surprise! So, you know,
unbelievable. So, anyway, that's my damn news piece. Who has the next one? I'm sick of Star Wars.
All right, I'll take this one up. So, I was talking about how I've been playing it recently in Apex Legends with Season 5, and this wasn't brought on to my attention until like just now, but I know that there's a new character coming in, which, if you remember when Revenant came out in his trailer, his reveal trailer was him like on an assassination mission and killed this one guy. At the very end, there's a little girl crying over the dead body of her criminal father, because the father was a criminal at the end, anyways. And I kind of figured that was going to be the next character, and lo and behold, she is the next character.
wow, surprise!
Surprise! So her name is well, I can't see her full name here. It says Loba here, but I'm trying to see. Oh, Loba Andrade. There you go. That's her name.
Okay, there we go.
She's Latin.
Yes, she is. She's Apex very own Sombra, basically.
Nice.
I don't have anything to talk about her skills yet. She does have like this little ring that she can throw and teleport to it, sort of, from what I've seen on the trailer. There's also a skill that she shows off on the trailer that she steals this gun. Like, she opens this like portal thing or whatever and just steals this gun from the hands of somebody else. Or I think they were about to grab it. It's not literally from their hands. Like, they were about to grab it from the shelf and she just pulls it to her. And she has this very handy skills with her staff. I don't know how any of this will play out into the actual game, but at least her teleport should be there, because it was pretty blatant, because she used it multiple times in the trailer they showed. Which, by the way, is a pretty cool trailer if you guys want to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a boost.
So they what I found out recently, or what was brought to my attention just now, was that there's going to be a PvE mode that apparently involves some kind of weekly hunts. I'm reading this out of Engadget. It says Respawn is also adding a PvE mode where players can join in weekly hunts, either solo or as part of a squad. It says you'll drop into the Kings Canyon map at night with a target location you're trying to reach before hustling to catch a ride out, all the while fighting off the AI-controlled prowlers that were seen in the recent Bloodhounds Trials event, which I did fight. And they do pretty some decent amount of damage. If you get mobbed by them, you will die pretty fast.
Okay, so does it mention anything about what the group composition will be? Is it like 4 play? I mean, is this evolved but without the monster being controlled by another player?
Yeah, pretty much. And it's just if it's a squad, the squads here are 3 people, so it's just 3 characters, whatever you pick, and go hunt shit.
Oh, well, that's less exciting then. I mean, I hear PVE, and I guess this is my fault because PVE doesn't necessarily mean uh, like a storyline or anything like that, and obviously that I mean that's confirmed. That's not really what they're offering here. It's more like, hey, let's just group us three against, and we're gonna try to hunt this monster with the powers and the weapons that are very tailored towards multiplayer gameplay, but somehow we're gonna shoehorn this PVE here. I don't
I
know. I don't know.
mean, I don't mind the PVE because I really like it. I enjoy PVE. So,
Hey, yeah, sure. I like
but
PVE.
they are adding something apparently that will tie into the story. It says here they also might what? God, this they should have proofread this first.
They
They
also might bring
also
Titans.
listen. It says they also might one of the 9 artifact pieces player can try to find. Right, that beginning doesn't make any sense, but
Well,
to complete the first quest event for Apex Legends, the Broken Ghost. Is that a throwback to Destiny? It's a part of a story that will be told over the course of the season about some kind of secret relic that every character in the Outlands is hunting for.
Mm,
okay. So
okay.
would you get some sort of special reward out of that?
I
It's gonna
guess.
be. I mean, I will imagine because otherwise, what will be the point of doing it?
Right. So
I don't want to play against people. Maybe that's the reward.
you
You
don't
don't
get
get
to play against
you
people.
don't get your ass kicked
You
by
don't, you
other
don't get
players.
teabag when you lose.
Yeah, you don't get teabag. Yeah, hey, that has promise in itself.
So I had heard that supposedly it's going to be a new map. I'm not entirely sure about that. I see nothing of that here. I think it was Zibby that had mentioned that to me, but I don't know, man. I will keep playing Apex. It is a fun game after all, and
Oh yeah.
like I said before, once you buy one battle pass, as long as you complete enough of it, you get enough coins to buy the next one. So
Mm.
you know,
Yeah, you
why
get
not?
rewarded for playing.
Yeah, yeah. So
You know,
why not? So I will keep playing it, and I mean,
that's freaking smart. Well, that's the way you keep your players. You
Hmm.
you you, you,
Get
you
people
have
on
them
board. Hell yeah.
of
continue
course.
playing. Just
There
yeah.
goes the complaint, like, oh, I gotta drop $10 every season. No, no, you really don't. If as long as you play the game enough, and honestly, I don't play it a whole lot. Like, there's like 2 days left of the battle pass, and I'm level 91.
Yeah, he
And
doesn't play enough.
honestly, I don't. Like, I log in maybe 3 times a week, and I'll do some challenges, and that's it. Like, it wasn't up until this week that I really started playing it because I want to level up.
Mm.
But even then, I was like battle pass level 80 something, like early 80s. Like I already had gotten the coins to buy the next battle pass.
Nice. Wow.
Okay. So you have
So,
your next battle pack secure already.
oh yeah, yeah. I think I have like 400 coins extra,
Yeah.
but that's probably because
That's
I
what
bought it at some point.
that's what they that's what they want. They need players like you, tooting that horn. Hey, come play Apex Legends with me.
Oh, and I'm
And
glad they left duos permanent. That's
That
I
only
think that
makes
was a great
sense.
idea.
Yeah. I'm glad.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm glad they did that too.
duos. All
Yes,
right.
sir. So
Sir
that's my
Dream
news
Sister,
piece.
what you
Yeah.
got?
All right. So we touched a little bit about this piece of news last week when there was speculation that the Last of Us leakers might have not been a disgruntled uh, uh, Naughty Dog employee after all. That they were saying, "Hey, no, this is actually the work of hackers," and I think we were both thinking it's like, of course, hackers, wink, wink, because it only makes sense that you try to PR yourself out of this. You don't want to admit that maybe someone was fed up with your practice, your crunch practices and all that jazz. But as it turns out, the evidence actually seems to very strongly suggest that no, that was not BS after all. This actually might have been the work of hackers, and maybe even not even the hacker that did it, but more the hacker that he might have shared it with. I don't know. It gets muddy after that. But the original story goes like Sony has confirmed that the company has identified those who leaked large parts of The Last of Us 2 online, as well as these persons, as well as the fact that these persons were not members involved with Sony Interactive Entertainment nor Naughty Dog. In a statement first reported by GameIndustry.biz and confirmed by IGN, Sony offered an update in the search for the leakers, and the update says. Sony Interactive Entertainment has identified the primary individuals responsible for the unauthorized release of The Last of Us 2 assets. They are not affiliated with Naughty Dog or Sony. We are unable to comment further because the information is it's an ongoing investigation, yada yada. Okay, so we kind of knew that part from last week. The update that came out recently, or as recent as May 1st, was that the Last of Us leak was actually instigated by hackers who found an exploit in the Naughty Dog's older games, according to multiple sources. So they're not really specifying what particular game, but evidently by finding security exploits, they were able to gain access to the Naughty Dog servers, and from there wreak havoc. So, journalist Jason Schreier tweeted to say that a patch in an older Naughty Dog game inadvertently allowed access to the developer's servers, allowing hackers outside of the company to access footage of developers playing a non-final build. That corroborated with a thread from an anonymous game developer, Pixelbutts, who had earlier claimed to know the initial hackers and went into details on the process they used to gain access. He also claimed that the initial hackers were not responsible for the leak, but that their methods of entry to Naughty Dog servers was likely shared to those that disseminated the footage. Those leakers remain unknown publicly. So I guess they don't really know who
sounds like
actually created it. Pixelbutts subsequently told Kotaku that the exploit was fixed as of April 30th. Neither Sony or Naughty Dog has made further comments on the situation since last week's statement. So like I said, it looks like it wouldn't have been too far to believe that, hey, this was definitely a disgruntled employee because of the working conditions or payout or whatever, when in fact this might have been a fabricated story, taking advantage of the fact that, hey, there was a report recently about Naughty Dog's crunch practices and yada yada, taking advantage of that just to make it seem more believable and take away the heat from, no, we were the ones that actually leaked it, the hackers, or whatever group they were. So interesting development. I guess they're really not going to be commenting much on it because the investigation is still ongoing, and apparently they still don't know who actually leaked the information.
The information.
Yeah, I mentioned it last week that I went through it. I saw what it was, and even though I obviously not going to spoil anything on it, I could see how this could be damaging towards sales of the game. So we're just gonna have to see now.
For sure. Yeah, we'll have to.
It's a heavy blow. It's
bad.
It's
it can, yeah, because you already have a lot of people going, I don't like where they're going with it, so I'm not gonna buy it. And a lot of people have canceled their pre-orders. Is it a lot? It's hard to tell, right? The information is difficult. It's probably just a fraction, but still, that fraction add up.
That's a loss. That's still a loss.
Exactly. My last piece, guys. You guys like Nicolas Cage, right? I know he's crazy and all, and he has like some weird hair missing on the side of his head. But
still, the same actor that did Ghost Rider.
Yes, it is. And
This is the actor that, if we were to judge actors by the movies that have been played before, and we're giving a hard time to Robert Pattinson for being Batman. Like, I mean, this guy would have been screwed. Nicolas Cage.
Well, you see, he's
To be
never
fair,
played a sparkling vampire, so
he did play a vampire that wasn't really a vampire. I can't remember the name. He was spoilers here on the movie that I can't even tell you what the movie is, but he was dying to become a vampire. Really didn't. I think he has some fake teeth, and towards the end, he ended up trying to kill someone by drinking their blood, and then gets like
blood poison.
Impaled.
Like
No, he gets impaled. I was like, holy crap, this is a weird ass movie. And then on top of that, for the record, I think Ghost Rider, particularly the second one, had some really good moments. That's it. Just some good moments. The movie itself was still no bueno. Anyway, back to my news piece here. Netflix documentary series called Tiger King has become. About this. We are because it has become a major hit, spawning countless memes and tributes. Of course, unsurprisingly, the series' success has rapidly inspired the development of more Tiger King based projects, including a limited series based on the Joe Exotic podcast that will star Mr. Nicolas Cage as Joe Exotic and Kate McKinnon as his nemesis, Carol Baskin.
Well, guess what? I'm not watching.
That's some good casting, though.
Isn't it? Right? Kate McKinnon. I'm like, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that, and I can also see Nicolas Cage. When I first heard that, I was like, wow, I just didn't see it until you pointed it out. It's just like, I still have yet to. I know I agreed to take the bullet and watch the show for us and come back and report it. And I just don't. I just don't have the patience to try to. It's like just the thought of it. And you know what's worse? I think here's what's worse. What's worse than watching it and then coming back begrudgingly saying this was the waste of time is coming back going, guys, you got to watch this. You know what I mean? I think that would actually be worse.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like you might actually be entailed to share.
Oh my God. I tell you, that'll be hilarious. Anyway, this is a series that's going to be headed by showrunner Dan Laguna, who's actually done a mockumentary series on Netflix called American Vandal, which at the time people were speaking so highly of as well, because it was meant to look like a documentary, but it wasn't real. And so I watched one episode. I was like, "Whoa, this is too dumb." Sorry, I can't anymore. I was like, "That's it."
Yeah.
Of American Vandal, yeah, American Vandal,
yeah.
So anyway, yeah, Nicolas Cage. Tiger King.
That's okay. Whatever.
Of course, it was gonna happen. That's all. Of course, it was gonna happen.
Unfortunately, I hate this world. So, Mortal Kombat had a recent announcement, which was not a combat pack 2 as I thought it was, because it's not. It's actually a new expansion called Aftermath.
Ooh, tell me more.
This. Before I found out about my high blood pressure, this is the reason why I'm uninstalling the game. Because this just really, really annoyed me to no end. So they're expanding on the story, what happens after you finish the game, which according to the trailer that I've seen, the actual canon ending is Liu Kang by himself and not Liu Kang and Kitana, which after they made you go through like God knows what kind of bullshit hoops to get that ending, it's not canon. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, they're totally spoiling the ending of Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah.
At this point, they're like, okay, you should have already played it by now.
Honestly, if you play Mortal Kombat 11, you haven't done the story. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, Liu Kang is the fire and thunder god now. Deal with it.
Has control over time. As insane as it sounds, that's the ending of the game.
Yes. Which, to be fair, I don't apologize for enjoying it. I liked the story. It was, I mean, it was not gripping like Injustice 2, for example, because like I unfortunately don't have that attenuation towards the Mortal Kombat lore, but I thought it was, it makes sense, and it tied up the what happened in Mortal Kombat 9 and 10, I guess, which I didn't play the storyline on 10,
Well,
but from the reports were that it tied everything up well enough, and
I,
I like the 11th storyline, and I hate to admit it, but I like the idea of continuing the storyline. What I don't like, and I'm gonna let you continue on that, on the reporting, is the price.
what do you mean?
The price of
The
the
cost of it.
expansion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought
I'm gonna
it's,
let you continue with it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, this thing has a $40 price tag.
Yeah.
And you get some new story. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but I don't think it's gonna be that long. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully, I'm wrong. I'm still uninstalling. And includes new playable characters, which is gonna be Shiva, Fujin, and motherfucking RoboCop.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw that.
That is awesome. I'm sorry. I know people are like, Robocop, that makes no sense. Yada yada. Motherfucking none of these characters make
Wait. Anybody
sense.
that says that RoboCop doesn't make sense, they haven't watched the original movies. They
There
have
you go. There you
because
go.
that shit was bloody and violent and brutal as fuck. Are you serious?
Yeah. At least Mortal Kombat. I mean, at least Robocop 1 was. So
Fun
yeah, it
fact:
makes perfect sense.
the original actor who played Murphy is voicing
Oh,
RoboCop
that's
in Mortal Kombat. Yeah, it's
awesome.
even that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I hear you. I know it. I know I need to hate this, and I do for the most part. But little things like that are kind of cool.
Oh,
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
I mean,
I have
credit
no
where
reason.
credit is due. It's the same thing they did with Spawn. They brought in Keith David for it, and they honestly should
Yeah.
have brought the the Governor for Terminator, but they didn't. I can only imagine
Yeah.
how expensive
I don't
that
think it would have been
would have
okay.
been.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's if you're gonna do it, this is the way to do it. The price though,
Well,
it's
what comes with it?
You
Chaos.
get the cinematic story, 3 playable characters, and 3 new skin packs to be released over time. Which, by the way, fuck you, NetherRealm, for locking the Sub Zero skin from Deception on this. Like, fuck you. I've been waiting for that skin for the fucking longest. Like, at least like ever since Mortal Kombat 10, I was waiting for like an upscale of that skin, and I was really hopeful for 11 to give it to me, and they did. And honestly, I had resigned over it. Like, all right, fine. If you're not gonna give it to me now, that's fine. Whatever. Don't lock it behind $40 fucking. Why? That is literally the only skin I want. I'm not gonna.
Honestly, I guarantee you, as with all of these things, what ends up happening is those things will eventually start to become their own little microtransaction that you can pay separately for. Now, that means you'll probably end up paying
yeah,
$3-4 for it, but it'll
yeah,
become a bit. It's just the like what is it? Call of Duty. I don't know which one it was, but whichever Call of Duty came with Modern Warfare Remastered. And the first thing is, oh, it was locked behind that. And eventually, no, you were able to get it separately on its own. Yeah, it took a little while afterwards, but you were able to get it. So it still sucks. You'd have to wait.
yeah.
Um, but you're not. I would almost bet money. I would almost pay for it for you if it didn't happen.
Yeah. I think the problem with this particular expansion is first of all, I should say I like the
I
idea
sent
of
you guys a
expansions.
picture of the skin that I always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of expansions better than just fucking a la carte DLC. Like, don't piecemeal me. Give me something meaty. That said, uh, it, this seems to, and I say seems to because it could be that they have actually a meaty storyline. It's WB, so I'm not gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and them delivering that, at all. But I have seen expansion packs that do the same thing and nobody complains. Reaper of Souls, the Diablo 3 expansion pack, came out, added just one character, one extra character to play, but added a whole campaign, or a whole continuation of the campaign. And hey, people were very pleased, and me included, because it
Oh,
was
okay.
more, of that game, more Diablo. Hear me out.
Okay.
The problem I see is that the disparity that that NetherRealm W3, the publisher, rewards people that have supported this game from the beginning versus the people that are jumping on it, right now. If you could actually buy, or you have the option of buying the complete edition, or whatever they end up calling it. I don't think they call it the complete edition. They probably call it the complete edition with a K. Although I think they've done that before. Um,
Yes, they have.
which will which will include this for $59.99. And if it's gonna be that much, game, the original game, everything, all the DLC that or most of the DLC that came up with it, all the characters on it, plus this for a new player, hey, I will argue that that's actually a very good value. I will say, because I'm not a fighting game, so I don't know the nuances portions of it. I can't tell you if 10 was better than 11 or because of this or that. But as an enjoyable game, I really liked it. I like Mortal Kombat 11,
Okay.
and
Are you done?
so, but no, not yet. Hold on. So, but the problem that I have is that the people that have supported this game, they're $59.99 already. Now they are being asked to pay $39.99 for this, for this little bit that they're bringing, and that's where the disparity, I feel, is like it's there. This should have cost maybe 30 at most, But all right, you can take over.
Okay. First off, yeah, if you haven't played the story of MK11 at this point, I don't know what you're doing. That being said, nobody plays Mortal Kombat for the story.
I do. I don't. I mean, you have to recognize that there are people that are not like the super hardcore fighting,
You're not. I
players.
mean, I'm
The
sorry,
people
but
I
you're
also
not getting
like
your
Injustice
money's worth.
and Injustice too.
You're not getting your money's worth out of that
That's
story.
fine, because that's fine, because
Depends,
that's
but I
the
mean,
part
it's
I value.
the
The
money. I
part
was
that
going
I
to say,
value.
yeah, exactly. Where the value is where it, like for me, like
Yeah.
I played I haven't played Mortal Kombat forever, but I played Injustice and only played the story mode, straight through,
Yes.
which was a good campaign type, lengthy story mode. That alone was worth it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
alone was worth it,
That's
and
you know the
it was worth
difference
it.
here is that story was actually good.
Well, but that's
And
subjective, isn't it? You
that's
know what I'm saying?
subjective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just subjective to you didn't think it was good, but that doesn't mean somebody else didn't. And if they did and they feel that the value behind it was fine, then you know what I mean. Then overall you're probably right. I'm not saying you're wrong, but when it comes to whether that's the story that you liked, you know what I'm saying? The fact is somebody else did, and they may find the value on it. Maybe they don't find it at $60 or whatever. Maybe you don't even find it at that $40 that they're asking for here, but at some point, someone may find that. Like I tell you right now, my son is like dying for this shit to come out, and he's like already putting money aside to get it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like there are just people who do. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's whether it makes sense or not, there are just people who do.
All the Call of Duty games that I have purchased throughout the history of Call of Duty, with the exception of 4, I only bought them for the single player campaign, and I did not even ever went into the multiplayer menu portion of them. Never interests me. And most of them, I mean, and all of them, I'll say, because they never go down in price. I pay, the full price, and I got my value. I didn't take advantage of all the features. Yes, I admit that I didn't, because I don't do multiplayer. But I got my money's worth. I got my entertainment out of it.
well, this is still not a good story, and it's not worth the
Well, that's a fact. I mean, that's a
I mean,
unrefutable
no,
fact.
no
You
one's
know,
arguing that you feel that way, sir. Matter of fact, I will put chips on it. That's hilarious.
The story was not great. I am giving you I give you a whole 100% on that. It wasn't garbage though. I thought it was still amusing. It was not. I'll tell you what. It was not Mortal Kombat 9. I did like the story, the reboot way that they did Mortal Kombat 9. For some reason, that one clicked with me.
But you know what's funny? Mortal Kombat 9 was a retread of Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, yes, it totally was, and I enjoyed it because of that. It was like the remake, basically.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, I was gonna say it's like what's it? Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. It's
right. That's what it was. Mortal Kombat 10. The story wasn't bad. I actually did enjoy the story of Mortal Kombat X. But then here, it just went full on fucking bonkers. And we got basically the end of the story again for it to be rebooted in some kind of pseudo way that they're going to continue on because Shang Tsung came to that very end scene up here. And this is on the trailer. This is not a spoiler. I guess it's a spoiler to those who haven't played the story yet, but fuck you at this point. Shows up at the very end with Fujin and who's the other asshole that's with him? Fuck, I can't remember his name.
No. You're talking about...
No, you're right. It is Shiva. It's Shiva and Fujin that are with him. And so they're introducing the characters, I guess.
Yeah.
And, like, out of nowhere, like, what is, like, Raiden and Liu Kang are in some kind of dimension that's not the beginning or the end of time. They're just standing and where they manipulate or create timelines or what the fuck ever.
Yeah.
How is Shang Tsung getting here out of fucking nowhere? What is this?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Fine.
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I'm gonna if considering that. Yeah, fuck. I didn't even think of that. Considering that, hey, Raiden and this asshole, they're at the beginning of time and everything, and of infinite timelines that they could exist. They haven't been created yet because again, they went back to the beginning. And suddenly Shang Tsung is like, wait, we're going to fuck up our timeline. It's like, which timeline are you from?
I didn't know he could travel through time and shit.
Yeah. This is worse than the fucking Avengers. Come on.
Wow.
I don't know, man. It's really, I don't think it's worth the $40. Fuck you for locking that fucking skin behind that paywall. Even if you release it later on its own. Too late. Fuck you. Damage done. I'm uninstalling. But yeah, guys, look forward to it. Mortal Kombat after.
Be excited.
Hey, I already pre-ordered it.
Oh, by the way, that's the way you get that skin is by pre-ordering the fucking thing. It's not even buying it. You got to pre-order it.
Oh, fucking pre-order culture. We have learned nothing.
Oh, I did. I ain't pre-ordering shit.
All right.
Yeah.
Who has? No, I was gonna say. I think you have the last piece.
Oh yeah, sure. Yes, this is important. This is about Cyberpunk and about the reason why it got delayed.
The real reason we have found this
real reason that it got delayed. Cyberpunk 2077 lets you customize your genitals.
Jesus Christ!
Wow, you only got so far before it cracked up.
I know. I couldn't. It's so wow. The ESRB has published its rating report for Cyberpunk 2077, which includes a new bit of information about the game's character creator. You can now customize your player's character's genitals. Per the report, and this is a quote from the ESRB, players can select the gender and customize their character. Customization can include depictions of breasts, buttocks, and genitalia, as well as various sizes and combinations of genitals. So, if you want to have if you want to make your character without Oh, I can't
He
even.
can't even say it. He can't even say it. Okay.
I was gonna say with a rock hard clip, you can actually make it happen now.
Excuse me, sir.
This will
I will
appear.
not accept that type of language here, sir.
This will appear to be part of CD Projekt Red's decision not to include a traditional gender option in the game, instead offering a quote unquote really inclusive expanded character customization menu. The report also mentions of in-game purchases. What? And somehow, the attention was not placed into that, mind you. The report also makes mention of in-game purchases, but CD Projekt Red has subsequently told IGN that this refers to the ability to purchase future DLC expansions for the game and not microtransactions. And the quote says, "As we have said before, Cyberpunk 2077 is a single-player game with no microtransactions. The ESRB info is based on the fact that expansions require the base game and therefore treated as a purchase by the rating board," which makes sense actually when you think about it. Me saying, uh, let's see. It says Australian rating reports, including suggested sexual actions, extreme violence and gore, and swearing. Players can also encounter events where they have the option to engage in sexual activities with other main characters or prostitutes, says the report. Oh, you know what? I might as well stop reading because the ESRB and this they're basically spoiling the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're kind of.
Anyway, just to bring the attention to the fact that that's fucking ridiculous. I mean, I understand the really inclusivity portion. Don't get me wrong. That's not even what I am focusing on, because I'm not gonna. It's just it's not gonna be based on, oh, I want my guy to have breast implants or whatever. It's customized. Are we gonna be measuring sizes and stuff like that? Is it gonna have the thing
I can guarantee
that every other Japanese game is being it's being looked at like, oh, this is sexist and horrible because you can Dead or Alive allows you to change the size of breasts on the female characters or the size of the dongs on the male characters or whatever, But
I guarantee that's exactly where we're gonna get, particularly on the PC version of this. Is just gonna. I'm a little afraid to see what the. Just trying to say that your master race, are a bunch of pervs. I'm just saying, just say.
Whoa, that's not wrong. That's not wrong, but still, I take offense.
The other day, I'm on YouTube, and for whatever reason, there is what appears. I'm not sure where she's wearing something very skimpy, but this is Jill Valentine running around in something really, really, really like some sort of like Rachel's stripper type thing, Just like wow. Wow.
It's you all can mod.
I mean, good stuff. I
guess.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's terrible.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. We will be right back with our hot topic.
I think the hot topic should be the way I'm gonna feel inadequate when I start messing up with junk sizes on this game.
Oh, we're all going to just do something silly. Let's be real. Let's just call it right now. We're all going to be comparing. Like, you know what? We're moving on to the next segment. We're moving on.
All right. Thank you.
For the record.
And the hot topic of the week got dwarfs. Now we're going to be talking about fucking Xbox.
I know, God. We are back, guys, and it is time for our hot topic of the week.
Hot
Hot
topic!
Hot topic, guys, is the Xbox Series X gameplay reveal show direct.
More like gameplay reveal.
Yeah, more like, is it gameplay or is this not sure what the hell is going on here? So Xbox had an event, guys. First off, I think Dreamcast already confirmed. I assume everybody's seen at least the well, it was only 27 minutes long, and it was basically a string of trailers. And I have them here, and I'm just going to do a quick recap. Shouldn't take a couple minutes just to kind of go through some of the stuff, and maybe if you guys have anything you want to touch on that, and then we can kind of go over our overall thoughts of their presentation.
Hold on, yes, because I for one appreciate. You remember? I mean, this. First of all, this is not E3, and even. I don't think this would have been what they have planned, to show at a particular, E3 this year. But I have appreciated the fact that in the past few years, their E3s have been very little talk. Let's go to games. Let's show games.
And they did that here.
They did that here.
Yeah. As soon as I started the watching the video, it's like, wow, it's almost as they discovered that games fucking matter.
Yeah.
Well, and they have to be fair, they have been doing that for the last at least 2 or 3 E3s.
Yeah, I know. You're right. They're just presenting a new console, and then the focus on video games so hard, in contrast to when the Xbox One was
when that launch, that launch was rough.
TV.
Oh, shit. The famous TV. By the way, I'm sorry, Chaos. I never offered you. You want some coffee, man? I made some coffee here. If you want some.
Sure.
Okay, I'll pour you some then. All right, let's continue.
You realize that he's just going to pour a separate cup and then drink it himself later on. That's what's going to happen there.
Hey, and I'm going to do it in Chaos' name.
Well, there is that. There is definitely that. All right, so let me just real quick go through a little bit of a recap. This is basically in the order if it was shown on the event.
Should I go before you go into the first, onto the trailer? Should I go world exclusive?
You have to. You have to. Your most epic voice possible.
Yeah, it is. Okay, actually, we're going to do that.
No, please go.
So the first, and I also have them marked for who showed gameplay. For the record, because I was just like, I need to differentiate here what's going on. The first game they showed off the bat was a first-person game called Bright Memory Infinite, and the immediate thing I thought was, why not Bright Infinite Memory? But okay, we'll go with the other one. Bright Memory Infinite, single play. That was the first thing I thought. I was like, why did they go that way and not the other way? It just sounds weird. Anyway, so it's a single player melee first person shooter, and it looks slick. Although it was raining the whole time, so that was probably why it was so slick. But it looked interesting. What do you guys think of that one?
So, Bright Memory, excuse me, Bright Memory is actually a game that is out right now. Not Infinite. I don't know what the differentiation is, and I'm looking at the trailer side by side, and
that's when the Infinite popped out.
I honestly don't see what is so infinite about Infinite, because I'm looking at side by side and they look the same. So Bright Memory, and it's a game that right now is, I want to say, on early access, and it's on Steam. the game is $9.99,
This
but
is bright memory.
bright memory, bright memory.
Okay.
Uh, However, when you you think, oh, 9.99, well, it's a budget title, right? But you look at the gameplay of this, and no, the gameplay on at least bright memory looks as good as that trailer that he showed. Except I don't remember the friggin' DeLorean showing up
I
on it.
was pretty on point though. I was like, wait, that's a maybe this is Back to the Future.
Maybe this is going. This is
like,
going in
wait,
time. I think
I
the
don't
game
know.
is the game is actually a showcase for ray tracing, because that's what it mostly have. That's why I think that's the reason why they decided to show the raining and the wet environments and all that, kind of to show what the lighting could do. And the combat has been described as pretty you know pretty slick also, if I may.
It looked pretty
But
slick.
a little on the shallow side. I don't
Mm,
know. I don't know, because some could argue that Doom 2016 was that, right? The combat was amazing. Oh no, that's a bad example. Never
I
mind.
was
Take it
gonna
back.
say,
I was gonna say
yeah, bite your
maybe,
tongue.
yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking of games where the shooting is fun, but like everything else is kind of like pointless.
Destiny.
I don't want to be mean.
There
Oh,
you go.
there you go,
Destiny.
nailed
Arch
it, boom.
Destiny.
Except that this game doesn't look like it is that type of like expansive hub world and
No,
expansive
it
worlds or
looks
anything like
even
that.
like a story-driven game,
So
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
and
very story driven.
the fact that I see this game being announced as a launch title, or I don't know if it's launch window, whatever it means, maybe not even launch, but as a possibly $60 title, and I can grab it right now on Steam for $10 new. The reviews say pretty. It says very positive so far.
Well, it's on early access at
It
$10.
is on
Is it
early
going to
access,
be?
yeah. And by
Yeah,
my
yeah.
yeah, you're
So
right. What I mean by reviews, I mean like the reviews from the users, the people that that have bought it and played it.
uh,
You know how Steam usually puts like overwhelmingly positive or very positive or bad or whatever. So far it
yeah,
doesn't look
yeah.
to be a lot of negative, but it is still in early access. It is kind of like limited. I don't know. I'll be interested on seeing what this actually shows at the
Me
end of
too.
it.
Me too. Like I said, it was a good start to it.
Yes.
Well, for sure. From there, they rolled on into Dirt 5, which
Mhm.
always, right, at any presentation, you're going to have some sort of racing game, because racing games are so good at showing off the technology for the
Mhm.
most part. So
Yes.
Dirt 5 was shown off, and then they moved on to a game that was extremely weird. It was called Scorn,
Wait.
and
Want to
my
talk about?
best
Wanna,
description. Oh, you want to talk about Dirt 5?
no, I was gonna say yeah. Well, I guess there's not much to say other than um, the series. It does have it has its following. I've played the Dirt games, and they're actually very fun. If you remember when we did that VR experience,
Mm-hmm.
that that place that we
At
went
Best
out.
Buy? Yeah, yeah, Best Buy.
No, not Best Buy, but that day that when we met Ramiro, he came in.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I forgot what
Yeah.
that
We
was. But I
went
know
to
what you're talking
that
about. Yeah,
bar and they had like a VR and stuff like that.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That racing game that they have. That at that point they had that contraption that moved and
Yep.
everything. It was like a crazy VR thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was Dirt. That was the game. I don't remember which one. If it was 2, 3, 4, I don't remember.
It
But
was an
it was
early one.
it
Yeah,
was
probably
yeah
because
it was
you
a
could
series.
tell by the let's call it the Jaggies. You can tell by the Jaggies
Oh
it was
yeah.
an earlier
Well, it's
one.
VR also. So in
Sure.
VR they need to they need to keep that frame rate up. So yeah. So I'm thinking, and you mentioned those are titles that are great to showcase, next gen prowess, uh, because this game supposedly is targeting 120 frames per second, which is insane considering that most of our TVs, at least I have an upgrade to 120 hertz. But actually, no, wait, I might be saying that wrong. I think we're cool on that. Anyway, it's still crazy amount of frame rate to throw at if it's true, you know.
Yes, and also a little pointless if your TV doesn't go that high. But sure, yeah, I get it. I'm just saying.
I want to say
But
our
yeah,
TVs
it's
do,
cool.
but
It's
I'm
cool
not sure how
enough.
it works with TVs.
I
I'm surprisingly non-technical when it comes to actual TVs. I want to say, well, they're 4K and they have up to 100. They claim to have up to 120 hertz, but does that mean that I could play something at 120 frames per second? I mean,
no, I
it'll
don't think so. Right? Hertz is a measurement of speed. It's not the same thing.
well, when it comes to measuring the frames, 60 hertz gives you 60 frames per second because it's refreshing.
Potentially gives you 60. Okay,
Yeah, it's
all
refreshing.
right.
I mean, that's what ideally, if a game is running at 60 hertz, let's say if someone says this game is running at 60 hertz, they're basically saying it's running at 60 frames per second because it's refreshing
Hmm.
every second. That you know that's
It's
the
refreshing
nomenclature of it. Yeah,
60 frames every second. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Well,
Something
Dirt
along those
5,
lines.
guys,
They're five.
120 gigahertz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh, uh,
120 fleur bits.
that's
You know,
120
if you want to do
teraflops.
if you want to do the imperial conversion, it's 130 inchy nails. I don't know. Go ahead.
There you go. The next game they showed off was a game called Scorn. No gameplay shown. It was more of a reveal trailer, and I
um,
literally had to write this down because I was just like, this looks like some weird alien zombie porn. I wasn't really sure what was going on in this
okay.
particular trailer.
This is not new. This game has been
Okay.
shown before. One of my faithful viewers on the stream, Melon Popper, actually told me about this.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
talk to me
and
about Scorn, sir.
well, I honestly don't know how long, but apparently it was shown in 2015.
Oh, was
Oh,
it
Yeah,
this same trailer?
honestly, I didn't look into it that much, but let me
I got to tell
see.
you, this trailer did not have much. It was all cinematic,
hmm
and it
Yeah, it
was
was more like a teaser.
very alien-like, like very alien, like
yeah,
spooky alien,
like like
like
like like like H Geiger.
H.P. Lovecraft alien. Yeah, exactly. It
Yeah.
was really. I wasn't sure what the hell. I'm not even sure what it is. To be honest with you, the end. You watch the entire whatever that is, and your guess is as good as mine. What the hell's going on
Give
there?
me one moment. Let me look at something here.
It's funny because you could actually look at supposedly gameplay from an alpha demo from 2017 on PC. So they all
Wow,
really have been
that says
working
it all.
on it. Yeah, the art style is just like you said. It's very
H.P.
uh
Lovecraft.
yeah. I don't know if it's I don't know if that's the term. If that's the term for that alien look. I think it's like something Geiger. I forget what it's called.
Oh
Um,
no, that's not H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Um,
HR Geiger. HR Geiger. Yeah. Because he was the one doing the.
what does it say that there are countless videos? I just looked at a gameplay, countless gameplay videos of Scorn,
Mm.
but we saw no gameplay at the gameplay reveal of Xbox Series X for this game.
Because
As a matter of
they don't
fact,
show anything exciting. Honestly, this demo that I'm looking at, it's just someone walking through corridors.
I
Of
mean, it.
it,
So
you
then
couldn't
it's a walking
differentiate it.
simulator.
Huh? It's a walking
Then it's
simulator,
a walking
probably.
simulator. I mean, yeah, I mean that's what it is.
Probably.
So that 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 doesn't really spell a winner when it comes to games. If it's like, well, we don't really have gameplay that's exciting to show. Let's just
which
go with this. The
which
cinematic. It's
which
a
to be
first-person shooter.
it is a first person shoot. Oh, I will imagine because it's a first person. I don't see a gun on this on this
I
demo.
just saw a gun. I just saw a gun pop
Oh,
up
okay, gotcha.
on a thing. All
Well,
right,
it
so
is.
Scorn. Moving on. This weird
All
game.
right. So,
Who
yeah,
knows what it
no,
is?
I was watching a video and it's from June 30, 2016.
Yeah, I'm watching
And
one from 2017. Actually, I would just tell you.
there is a gun in this trailer By the way, I didn't saw all of it, but I saw one part where the guy is like holding a gun, aiming at a creature of some sort.
Of course, they need to put a gun.
And yeah, man, this is nothing new. This is all that shit.
So is this a new? It says new 2017 horror game in the one I'm looking, but it says alpha demo. So can we assume that this just has not been released anywhere? Everything has been very alpha, beta, and all that.
I agree on that. Like even in the 2016, it's even though it's a trailer, it's a 3-minute long trailer that actually shows at least somebody holding a weapon or the.
Okay.
I would not blame him for. I would not blame them for that. I would not blame them for. I would not even say this is all that shit. Yeah, the gameplay footage that we might be seeing, the alpha might be all that shit, but this is still a brand new IP, a brand new game. It has not been released anywhere. And by the way, I'm seeing
this. Like, go ahead, finish.
Oh, I was just gonna say I am not on the video that we're probably all watching around the 3 minutes and 35 mark. They actually show what appears to be a shotgun, and I think Chaos, you will really like the way it looks because it's very organic. It's like a shotgun, looks like a shotgun, but it almost gives you the impression that it came out of Bloodborne. If you mix Bloodborne with the Aliens movie.
Very alien.
Kind of awesome.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks like the space jockey.
Okay, first off, I do agree that trailer that they showed on the Xbox presentation, it's very erotic. It's the word that I would use to describe it.
I would say the same thing. That's what I walked away with. I was like, what is happening? There's like this phallic thing that sticks out at something, and it almost looks, I mean, realistically, let's be real, it almost looks like a fucking dog's penis. Like what is, why is this and then it goes back in, and it's like, so what was the point?
I don't want to talk about this game anymore. Actually, no. Fair enough. That's actually.
At one point, there's two statues, and like the one that's like laying down, it's a woman, right? Because she got the breast, and then the other one, which I don't know if it's a male or female statue, but it just got his face shoved in between the breasts, and I'm over here like, what the fuck am I watching here?
Exactly. You see, I'm glad I wasn't the only one that walked away with like, am I supposed to be aroused? Because I'm not. I'm like disturbed.
If you're a freak.
Am I supposed to be disgusted or aroused? And I'm so confused.
I don't know, man. That shotgun kind of turns me on. That's a really good design.
I mean, it's quite the schlong, so I can see. But
the thing I wanted to bring in this long into development, because even if it's 3 or 4 years, that's a pretty decent amount of time. And you have no gameplay to show.
Well, true. No gameplay to show on the gameplay reveal. I keep saying that because I have to say that is exactly what they called it. Yeah.
Like, gameplay reveal, and we show you this first game with gameplay, and the very next one, here's a teaser trailer.
Exactly.
A game that's been in development for like 4 years. Here you go.
The next one that came up is something called. Oh, sorry, sir.
No, that was it. That was scoring. Everybody, enjoy.
I know. Go watch that crazy alien porn. The next game that they showed is something called Chorus Rise as One. Again, no gameplay, just cinematics. Not very memorable, so much so that I did not write anything, quirky next to it because it is what it is. And then the next one was Madden 21 because you got to have your sports, right? I mean, it has to be part of your Madden. You got to have your Madden. One thing I did write down, which is important for anybody who's interested in Madden, is that if you buy this for the Xbox One now, you get it free on Series X. So all you got to do, and
I thought that was pretty cool. I mean,
that was pretty cool. I was like, yeah, I can definitely, and
that's part of the X. Well, here's the thing. Yes, it is cool, but it's also a confusing message because because Microsoft is doing that with all their first-party titles. Or when I say all, I mean like the few that will probably release from here until Xbox.
True, but it makes sense. It makes sense that it's their first-party titles. It makes sense. This is not a first-party title.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Because they're talking about smart delivery, and as a feature of the console. But it turns out smart delivery only applies to the first party titles, because they can, if you buy an Xbox, if you buy a game for Xbox One and there's a version for Xbox or Series X or whatever the hell you want to call it, then you get that version, right? That's part of the smart delivery, right? Well, it's not the same with
Allegedly.
third party titles. So you can buy Madden until a particular time. I don't remember what was the date. Uh, and you will get it also on Xbox Series X. But you pass that stage, that's it. You don't get it. And I mean, I guess it's the best they could do, because they can't impose
On third
restrictions
party,
on
they
third
could
parties.
if they pay for it. That's what I
They
see. I
could, yeah,
looked at
I
that.
guess,
Yeah,
yeah,
I looked at
that's
that and I
true.
was like, well, maybe they paid to say, listen, we're going to take the hit on this and we'll pay you guys for it.
And
Because
consider,
the reality is this: year one of a launch
Mhm,
is not going to have that many games sold on that particular console as it is on the console prior to that, right? So
right,
they're going to make the most of their money on the Xbox One version of Madden 21. That's
right,
just a given. So Xbox is looking at it by going, "Hey, this is the stats that we've had from before.
mhm,
We're going to pay you this based on our past performances in cross-generational Madden games, and we'll
mhm.
pay you for this. But we're going to have this because you you can for sure guess that Madden 22 is not going to have that. Right? EA is like,
Yeah,
nope,
no, they
it's
don't
going to
need.
be yeah.
They would
So
need
so
to.
Madden 21 is like, all right, sure, and sure, we'll take it to it because they're still going to make their money on the. They're going to clearly make their money in the Xbox One version.
Mhm.
And oh, by the way, on top of that, on the PlayStation 4 as well. So it's not like there's a loss anywhere for them. And chances are, like I said, I think personally, Xbox went ahead and said, we'll go ahead and flip the bill for you for the Xbox Ones that would have gotten it. So
Right, right.
it's
Yeah,
possible. I
and
think it's
considering,
possible.
yeah, they could have done it, considering that it's not like this cross generational thing will have to be for every release. I mean, just the release of
Hmm.
this year, because by year two, they would have expected to for the Xbox Series X to have its own install base,
Correct.
uh,
Yep.
and
You have
a
a year
separate.
worth in. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I agree. At this point of the show, they ended up showing, of course, their support page because everyone wants to show. Even Nintendo does this, and I'm sure Sony does it as well, where it shows all the list of all the developers working on games for the Xbox One. And I always look at that and I go, well, of
Half
course
of
they're
those are
making
not
games for
gonna.
the.
Yeah, but half of those
No, but I'm saying,
are never gonna come out. I'm never
well,
gonna
that's
do
true. This is true. But the other thing is like, well, of course they are because you're a console, and generally, game makers want to release game on consoles. That's just the way it works. So it's like,
it.
okay, sure.
And
Moving on.
if anything, I will say that yes, Nintendo does it. They needed to
Nintendo
do
does it
it.
for a reason, though.
They needed to.
Yeah.
They well, and I will argue that Microsoft needs to do it for a reason also, because right now the narrative has been, well, Xbox won't have games because they didn't have games this generation. Seriously, that's the narrative. So they ha- they
It's
they
also the
have
truth.
to have the wall. They have to have the wall of support,
The support.
because otherwise, not showing that will probably cast doubt. Or maybe not cast doubt, but it, but like not having it will not being indifferent, but having it at least give some people a little peace of mind of, oh wait, so okay, so the releases from Sega are actually coming, or the releases from favorite publisher X here, is
Mm-hmm.
showing. They're
It's
not
also
gonna
coming
just,
to the color.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, even though obviously they're also coming to, you know
Although, I guess, I mean, maybe that's just me. I looked at it. Maybe I just looked at it going, well, I'm sure that's happening. But you're right. There's probably some doubters, particularly PlayStation 4 owners, right? Who are like, I'm not buying that shit. They don't have any fucking games.
mhm.
And here they're going, no, no, we do. And oh, by the way, we also have our own first party lineup. So,
Yeah.
which by the way, we didn't see any of, but we'll move on from that. Um,
No, actually, that's a very good point. Where was
it is.
fucking Halo? Where was Halo on this thing? Halo
Well, they,
Infinite.
they did say, and they did say this a while ago now, that we're not going to see a first-party title for Xbox One. What is it? Is it 18 months or something like that, or 16 months into the?
Yeah. That's
So
it's
they
that's
admitted up
worrisome.
front, though.
That's worrisome in the sense of when you hear Sony first party working on a game, for the vast majority of times, it's a game worth waiting because they deliver. I think I think the last generation, I could probably count the exceptions of first party Sony games that didn't deliver with the palm of my hand. Probably, because they weren't
Probably want
for
to
the
reach
most
the
part.
5 either. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. For the most part, they were bangers that people were like, "Oh, you're delaying it? Oh shit, that's too bad. I kind of wanted to play it, but yeah, go ahead, take your time because it looks fucking amazing." You know,
Mhm.
and the Xbox portion, none of the first parties that they show up, with the exception of, with the loose
What are you talking?
exception of Gears
What are you
of
talking about?
War.
Sea of Thieves was great, right? It wasn't that like a big thing.
Let's be real. It was Minecraft because Minecraft, and Gears of War for those hardcore fans. Nothing else hit. As a matter of fact, I will say that it was the complete opposite. It missed so far off the mark that Xbox third party development is right now. I consider it a joke because they haven't shown anything. I mean, they're showing what they're showing now looks promising, but I still wouldn't put it. I still wouldn't put it past the shit that they did with Crackdown, because that was shit.
That was bad.
Crackdown
That
3
was very bad. Yeah.
was shit. Well, that
And that
game
was first
Is that
party.
the holy
Yeah.
grail of Xbox?
that should
I'm
have not
sorry,
been released.
Alex. You broke up there. What was that?
Wasn't that the holy grail for Xbox?
That was one of the people that was
One of them. Yeah.
the cloud. Remember we were gonna the
Power
power
of
of
the
the cloud.
cloud!
The power of the cloud? Yeah.
Cloud processing.
It fell from the cloud, I tell you, and it splattered on the ground so horribly that Crackdown, that series is ruined. Like, I wouldn't be excited for a Crackdown 4, if they delivered it tomorrow. And Sea of Thieves was a disappointment, actually. At the end of it, all, yeah, they have been working on it here and there, but at the end of it all, it disappointed, and they didn't really have. Xbox did not have their Last of Us. They did not have Marvel's Spider-Man. They didn't have a God of War. They didn't have any of those first-party Sony titles.
You know what the
They didn't have a
difference
response
is?
for it. They're still clinging to fucking Master Chief.
Do you
Go
know
ahead.
what I think the main difference is? And this is just me, and I get it. Anybody listening is probably go, "Oh, he's a fucking Sony fanboy." Blah 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 blah. I get it, but what I've realized, or what I've realized is that narrative is not an Xbox thing. Narrative is secondary to just action and spectacle when it comes to Xbox first party, and for the most part, right? I'm not going to say this is a blanket statement that covers all their first party games. No, but when you look at the majority of the first party games, what you are missing half the time is narrative.
Yeah, well,
You know what I'm saying? And I think, and I get it, because to a certain extent, we can all agree gameplay is king, right? There's no disagreement with that. But sometimes, and I would say a lot of times, gameplay can be secondary to a narrative, and it will keep you going. And you just mentioned God of War. God of War is a game that we all were expecting to hate, or expected really not to like. Well, you know what I mean. Maybe not hate. Maybe not hate.
That was a fact. That was
No,
a fact.
I know. I hate that God of War at all.
Okay.
I
was going to say yes.
Hear Chaos. What is Chaos saying? What was you saying, Chaos?
That I wasn't expecting to hate this. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay, I was not expecting to hate the latest God of War because I've always liked God of War to the point that I really enjoyed God of War 3. Ascension was garbage, but I try not to think about that game, even though I have a poster of it and it shows up on every stream. God of War 3 for me was amazing, and that shit was epic as fuck. Like, You know what I'm
I
saying?
like God of War. I really did.
Yeah, me
I
too.
really like
But I
God of
didn't
War.
want to play this again. Like I didn't want to play that same game again. And God of War 1, 2, and 3 were amazing, but they kind of were the same game. And I was done. Just like, hey, that's not something bad to say. When I love Halo, I love the Halo series up to 3. I did not need Halo 4. I heard it was coming. Sure, I gave it a go. You know what? It was trash. And let's not speak about Halo 5. So I was talking about
You know what's the game that we hated from God of War? It's Ascension. Fuck that game.
Ascension came out and just proved that, or proving well, this formula is not working anymore because I mean, look at what they're doing. And when the next God of War was announced for PS4, I was like, I wouldn't say that I was hating on something that I haven't seen, but like I didn't care. I was not excited at all. Like I had zero interest on it
Oh,
until I saw it
did.
for the first time.
I did because I wanted to see what happened after God of War 3. And I'm glad I got to,
I
by the
thought that
way.
was an ending. I thought that was an ending. I didn't need.
Oh,
I honestly took it as spoilers here for God of War 3 for anybody listening who has not played God of War 3, but I took it as he died. That's it. Over.
I did because
why not?
Because there's a point
exactly
where they saw the trail of blood crawling off the edge.
I saw that too, and I still took it as like, no, he's done. I figured they were just going to leave it like that, which is exactly well, I'm not going to go into it, but that was exactly the thing that I have with John Wick, where I'm like, in the end, he has to die because that's just the only logical solution towards the end, and that's the exact thing I thought about God of War. That said, the route they took was genius.
Was genius?
Yeah, absolutely genius.
So I won't on that.
What game are we talking about originally?
God of War.
No, before.
No! I started saying my issues with. I was comparing it to John Wick in the sense that John Wick needs to eventually die because that's the most logical thing. And God of War 3, that was the ending that they gave.
No, like we're talking about Xbox, and suddenly we were talking.
We're talking about.
What game are we talking?
I don't even know what the fuck was. I was talking about Madden, and suddenly we got.
We're talking about. No, listen. We're talking about the narrative and the fact that you're right.
Oh, okay, right.
For the most part, you don't have that narrative you get on Sony titles, on games from Sony Santa Monica or from Naughty Dog or X or Y, from their establishment, because all they're looking here is at explosions and like Michael Bay-ish crap.
You took it right from my mouth.
Yes, yeah. It's you have
the Michael Bay console. Yeah.
Yes. And that shit worked for the 360 era when we were jumping from the PS2 dominance. But it's not gonna continue working anymore. It's time to, and I feel like they are starting, or hopefully they are realizing that they need their answers for, and I mean, like they got that trailer for Senua, for Hellblade, Hell something, the Senua's Sacrifice
sequel. Yeah,
sequel.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be that if it wasn't for the fact that most male gamers hate the idea of playing a female character, and that has been proven. Because
sure,
that has been proven, unfortunately. But like, I don't care. This could be a good chance to have a good storyline. Because even the first one, I didn't play it to completion just yet, but I intend to. But you told me, hey, it was a good story.
Absolutely, absolutely. And honestly, I was just going to say the fact that they acquired Ninja Theory. It would give me faith, and if someone were to say, hey, what do you think of Xbox game? I was like, well, they got a pretty good story heavy developer on their thing, and if that's what you're looking for, that's good. But so many, and I really, anybody listening who's an Xbox player and is being insulted by what I'm saying, I am not trying to single anyone out to say that you're just into the Michael Bay of consoles, right? But at the same time, it's like that's what moves those units. It's what, I don't know. It's what every Xbox player that I know is excited about, and I'm not in any way taking away that that's a good thing. Hey, like I said before, with it was like it's subjective. It's hey, whatever it is you like, you like. But I think that's what differs between the two ecosystems, right? Where you have Sony that focuses on, yes, they're going to have gameplay, yes, they're going to have your spectacle and all that, but they're also going to have narrative for the most part. Not always, but for the most part, right? Because NAC is not very narrative heavy, but still, there's some spectacle in there, sure.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, you're going to have your Last of Us, you're going to have your Horizons, you're going to have your God of Wars, which I would never have thought was going to be a narrative driven game, but it is.
Yeah,
It is now for sure. Yeah,
and I feel like Microsoft certainly know this, because when you think about the movements that they're doing, like to compensate, because let's be real, Game Pass it's nothing more than compensation for their lack of
the lack of
performance.
the lack of games.
Yeah. And to be fair, Game Pass is one of the better things that have happened to gaming recently. When you have, as far as being customer friendly, as something that I would have never expected, and even with the PlayStation 5 and Xbox, I would still not think of Sony doing such a move, because they don't need to.
No,
Because they don't need to. They're not in that position.
Although they are making moves similar to that, in the sense that they are starting to open up. Like there is rumors of Horizon Zero Dawn, or I think Horizon Zero Dawn has been proven now, and to come to PC, and maybe not to other consoles, but to PC. So they're opening up in them. But I see what you're saying.
But that's not Sony. That's more, because Sony's not publishing that on PC. I think 505 Games is, or something like that.
Yes, but it's still their IP. They wouldn't let their IP go unless they were agreeing to it.
Is Horizon who does
Horizon Zero Dawn? That's a first-party title. That's Guerrilla Games.
Oh, I thought they were. Oh, yeah, that's right. They got acquired. I thought they were a second party title.
No, they've been different. They were doing Killzone for God knows how long.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the next one that they've seen that has been and I know we're kind of a little bit off topic here, but the next thing that they've seen, the next thing that they have, there's a it was a leak that came onto French Amazon or something like that, where God of War, it may actually become a go to PC. And so it's like that's another thing.
I will highly doubt. I wouldn't put money on that.
No, true. But the difference is that
before that happens.
I'm sorry. Say it again, bro, because you were cutting off there.
I think we'll see Halo on PlayStation before we see that happen.
Yes, I will agree.
I mean, the only reason it's a leak and it's still a rumor, or rather, the only reason why it was any attention to it is because it came from a source that has had many rumors proven true. That's it. It's still not proven true to date. It still hasn't been proven true, obviously, because I think there would be a lot of PlayStation, fanboys, jumping off cliffs at some point.
Oh no,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
that would lose
exactly.
Ever-loving shit.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's when you will discover the true fanboys from the people that I just like Sony. That's when you will, the ones that will be like, nobody else deserves to playing this outside of PlayStation.
Yeah,
how much
for
you
real.
know about Japan? I'm an expert.
Exactly. So what I'm trying to say is that little by little, it seems that you're right. They don't have to. They're doing these little things, and I really think that they're doing these little things because we have a new head of Sony, and that head of Sony is probably a little bit more open-minded. He's also also part of Guerrilla. He was the creative director behind Horizon Zero Dawn. He is now taking over Sean Layden's position. So obviously, new head, new thoughts, new mind, new direction, right? So that's always a good thing. So who knows? Again, it's not proven, And don't jump off any cliffs just yet, Sony fanboys. It's
But if it
just a
happens,
rumor.
we reported it first. That's
Yeah, you heard it here first. Exactly. All right, let me get to this damn list.
yeah.
No,
It's fun.
honestly, this is really the only reason I made this list, because there's this one game that I was like, yes, I'm in on this. It's not exclusive to Xbox, but it was revealed, or at least, again, not gameplay, or at least I didn't see any gameplay. It had a little bit of gameplay. I take that back. It's called Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines.
Oh shit! Yes,
That game looks pretty legit. It's the
creepy
one
as
game.
fuck.
Oh, but it's so good. It has that weird psycho serial killer vibe at the beginning with the family, and I was like, holy shit, do I want in on this?
Yeah.
But yes, so they showed that off. It had a little bit of gameplay towards the end. Not a lot, but But what they did show was fairly interesting. How do you guys feel about that? I don't want to move on that one just yet. How do you guys feel about that?
Who is this is Paradox Interactive, right? Shit, this is
Yes, I
actually
believe so. Yeah.
the people from the SimCity game. Hello. The Bloodlines 1
Mm-hmm.
is a cult classic. It's a
It
game
is.
that I don't remember seeing it. Honestly, I don't remember if it was ever on consoles. I know that it was
No,
on
it was
PC
not.
and it was okay. So it was like people have been dying for a remake of that game. I believe there's mods out there. It's a game that I missed on, and I will definitely love to go to a very well made remake. But I'm excited about this one just because of just your impressions of it. It's exactly the reason why I'm excited
Yeah,
about
it's good stuff.
it does it looks like that it's almost I don't know how to describe it, 'cause it has a little bit of noir. It has
It
it has
does.
a little bit of it's dude. Oh my god!
It's first
I don't have
person. It's the one game, honestly, where I was like, I want to see more of that. Show me more of that. That's all I want
and
to
it's
see.
coming on PlayStation 4 also.
It is.
Not
Oh yeah,
5.
yeah, yeah. It's not,
4.
yeah. It's not just it's coming to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and
Yeah.
PC. Well, clearly PC because it was originated in PC.
Right.
And so yeah, it's developed by Hard Suit Labs and published by Paradox. And yeah, man, I've been actually, believe it or not, I've been following this game for a little bit. I didn't know about the original one. I stumbled upon the making of the second one, and I was like, "Ooh, this sounds pretty good." And then here's the reveal, and I was like, "Whoa, this looks like really, really good." So this
You know
was
what it reminded
for
me?
me my highlight of the entire thing.
Of it, yeah. It reminds. I was gonna throw in. Uh, oh my god, those games from. What is
You're
this?
talking about
Yes,
you talking about who?
I'm trying to remember. Tell me what are you gonna say? I
No,
can't believe I'm
I was
missing out.
I
I'm
was
blanking
gonna
out.
say. Well, I thought for a minute that it was gonna be similar to Vampire from these people who did Life is Strange, but I was like, oh no, this is completely different and way, way better, or at least appears that way. So
I was thinking for some reason it kind of gave me a Dishonored vibe a little bit.
it does. It does.
Yeah.
Very, very good call out. I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
It does have a little bit of time without
mean,
But then
the
it has
crazy.
it looks there's sections that look a little gothic and then some sections that look very futuristic. Well, almost like Gotham City actually. When you put it that way,
Yeah,
when you
for sure.
put it that way, yeah. It looks really rad. We'll see where
This
this
one did have a little bit of gameplay, and I did mark it next to it. The next two, honestly, were so forgettable that I had nothing to put down, so I'm just going to say their names. The first one was called Call of the Sea, and then the second one was called The Ascent. Both of these showed gameplay, believe it or not. Yeah, nothing to say about that. So moving on, we have.
Wait, what was the Ascent? Because I remember being intrigued by it, but I don't particularly remember right now.
I would have to look it up right now because I really don't know. There is this movie called The Descent, which is really good. But
I saw that movie.
Not the Descent, the Ascent.
Is that with the blind creatures and shit?
Actually, I mean the game, the graphics of it, and what appears to be. You're right, Chaos. I'm with you. I am very
Oh,
intrigued.
this
If
is
anything,
okay. This is the one game I should have wrote this. I forget.
it
This
looks
is the
really
game that
rad.
reminded me. It reminded me of this game that I played called Ruiner, which was very similar
Ruiner.
isometric view. Actually, Chaos. I think you were actually seeing the stream when I was actually streaming this. It was this same exact isometric view, 3D, and it was this one character who had a motorcycle helmet that had like almost like LED lights on it, and it would make faces and stuff like that. And he was basically going and just killing everybody. Is what he was.
Yeah.
And so it was very similar to this. Also,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
neo noir like this as well.
Isn't that like the twin stick shooter one that looks like a twin stick shooter?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a twin stick shooter or something out of Diablo almost. I am very intrigued on it. I just when I started seeing the trailer, and then it kind of switched to that perspective. I got disappointed. I'll be honest with you. I was like, oh, it's one of those. I
Really?
was thinking,
I thought you guys would like that because we always said we're gonna play Broforce, but we never fucking did. So
well,
I figured this could be something.
I still have Broforce downloaded.
I like it. And I like it. When at the end of the trailer, I was like, okay, I'm down with it. I
figured this is something that we could actually get and play together if we actually ever get together and play together.
Or if that's the type of game that it is, because I'm not.
It looks single player-ish. I'm not gonna lie.
No. I just saw something. Actually,
at some point they show like four characters in one go.
Yes, he does, and it looks like. I mean, it looks like they don't look like they're AI.
They don't look AI control.
So yeah, I think this is one of those. Yeah, I'm down with this game. I'm in. The Ascent. I'm gonna have my eye on that.
Okay, I'm putting a little star next to that on this list here. Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because again, I saw this. I was like, "Ooh, that looks like Ruiner." That's the first thing I thought. I never actually wrote it next to it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The next one is a game called The Medium, and what makes this one stick out? This is first off a horror game, and it also uses Silent Hill's famous composer.
I think the way they called it is a psychological horror game.
Yes, which Silent Hill was big on that.
Yep.
So yes, that's called The Medium. Again, there was no gameplay, so it was just all cinematic
trailer.
Yeah. The next game is a game called Scarlet Nexus, and what I wrote next to that was some anime bullshit.
Wow.
Very
exactly
anime.
What I wrote next to it.
Fucking anime. Like I saw it, like I can hear them saying that this is some anime shit right here.
Exactly, literally what I wrote.
Though. Everyone needs anime bullshit.
Oh no! Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm not in any way discrediting them. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have. I don't know how the support from Japanese developers are. I mean, you see, and you're gonna say it, but I guess I'm gonna spoil it. Yakuza was there, and I was very excited to see that.
Yes, we can actually jump to that if you want.
Yeah. Let's just say
Scarlet Nexus and Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Oh God, yes, that is such a yes. Oddly, interestingly enough, on this, do you think that suddenly? Do you think this game suddenly turned into an Xbox time exclusive? I want to say time because I don't think it's going to be an exclusive.
I think
it's definitely not going to be exclusive.
That it's going to be like a time exclusive.
I think it. The reason I say I don't know how I feel about it, but you watch that trailer, you know the games that are coming on other consoles, even if they have, they might not say PlayStation 5, but they say PlayStation 4. You know that shit is, you'll be able to play that on PlayStation 5, obviously. But this one doesn't have that. Like it doesn't say. It says, I think it says Xbox and PC.
Well, let's take a look because the first time that we saw this game, believe it or not, was Tokyo Game Show 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have probably known. And actually, now that I go into PlayStation's YouTube channel, they have the exact same trailer there. So no, it's coming to PlayStation as well.
Yeah, but does it?
That's good to know.
What's that?
Good to know.
I don't know.
That's good to know.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know why it struck. I was surprised by the like he had the place like you see the thing. It has the PlayStation 4 logo, but that particular trailer like it didn't show that. I was like, huh, why would they show PC and everything else? I think at one point he even no, I didn't see that. I'm looking at it. I'm like, no, definitely not Stadia.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
Hey,
Or more like, oh God, who cares?
It could.
What is that?
So basically, so the logos, so it had the following logos. It has the Sega, obviously the Sega logo, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and then it says Smart Delivery, Steam, and Windows 10.
So Smart Delivery really, as we've established already, means it's the same game delivered to an Xbox, a Series X. Does that mean you're getting a Series X version?
It does have the Series X. Well, it does have the Series X version, and it has the Xbox One logo. So what I think of it, what I see out there is, if you buy the Xbox One version and then you update to Series X, or in other words, if you buy the Xbox One version, you
get an automatic.
Series
you have
X
it. See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that's Smart Delivery.
Exactly. That's how I took it. It doesn't necessarily mean you have an upgraded version, or the, what I'm saying, like a whole whatever. So that's why I'm like, I'm pretty sure.
No, it could be. I'm thinking there's two versions. I am thinking. I mean, using that term loosely because right now, exactly. Yeah, frame rate maybe. I don't know. Frame rate would be a big difference.
Maybe.
But again, looking at that slogan, why would they have the PS4 version and not PS5? Is it not coming to PS5? Is it a time exclusive on?
Maybe it is.
I think you're thinking way too much about this.
No, but am I? That's the question. Like, I think it's just funny.
If it's coming to PlayStation 4, I just couldn't see it not coming to PlayStation 5.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
That's all I wanted. That your opinion on it, because it is kind of, it's not like PlayStation 5 is a mystery anymore. We know the logo of PlayStation 5. Every other game, another example, and I just pulled up a report that showed that also, that was questioning it. Every other example shows everything. I mean, if it has to show Stadia, it shows Stadia, shows PC, PS5, and PS4, not just PS4. So that's what I was wondering. I just wanted to throw it out there to see what you guys thought.
I mean, I still think it probably.
There are stupid people out there in the world. So hey, they could do something that ridiculous, but I doubt it.
Yeah. It's possible. But I honestly, I don't see. I mean, unless for some reason Sony burns some sort of bridge with Sega, I don't see why they wouldn't.
No, I don't think. I don't think so. I don't see it either. It's just.
I just think it was
a funny thing that.
Yeah, it could be. It could be literally that TGS trailer, right? And if you think about TGS in 2019, PlayStation 5 logo really hasn't come out yet, and all this stuff really hasn't happened yet, and they're just reusing a similar trailer, and it's like, well, that's just what was there, and they didn't really have anything on PlayStation 5 at that point.
Was the
Series
Xbox
X
Series X logo already shown by then?
Don't know. It's a good question. That is a good question.
Maybe there's more that meets the eye here.
Things that make you say, All right. Let's finish up real quick. There's only two left. This one here really isn't that important. It's called Second Extinction, and it looked like Call of Duty meets Turok. Was a bunch of dinosaurs.
I'm not going to lie. I was very disappointed to see there was like maybe 3 different dinosaurs in the whole trailer. Even though they showed dozens of dinosaurs, but yeah, like most of them were just velociraptors over and over again. Like, did you guys have nothing else?
The problem is that the predators there really were only so many predators. The rest were really, Vegasauruses. So They're
Yeah.
not really gonna attack you. So, and then finally, we got the world exclusive gameplay reveal
Oh my god.
Lol.
of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Guys, tell me, how did you feel about that riveting gameplay that you saw?
The
That
whole
damn
thing
trailer.
ended, and I was still waiting for gameplay. I'm guessing I missed it at some point.
I think I did too. I think I literally nodded off. I was like, maybe this wasn't 27 minutes, maybe it was 37 minutes, and I missed
And
10 minutes of
I
it.
missed
You
it.
know,
It's
just
like, all
nodded
right,
off.
so
Yeah.
is the gameplay about to start? And instead of like the logo and the video literally ended. It started giving me recommended videos to watch.
Recommendations.
I
Yeah.
was like, I almost felt like maybe I should rewind this, like back this up to see if I missed it. Like, you know what? Fuck this shit, I'm out.
So, quick stat I have is there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 13 games that actually show gameplay. So that leaves what? 5 games, right?
5 games.
5 games
So
that
no,
did not show gameplay.
so,
Yeah. Now,
just
I think maybe it's a little well, no, it's not blown out of proportion because when you call your event a gameplay reveal,
yeah.
you're kind of setting yourself up here. But at the same time, I think it really nailed it home when the final game you land on, the guy who literally he gives you that one more thing moment, and he goes the gameplay reveal of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and then you go to it and
There's
you never see
no
any damn
gameplay.
gameplay. Yeah, so. Overall, guys, what you guys think of this damn thing?
Wait, are we really done with Assassin's Creed Valhalla? Are we not going to say anything else on it?
Because
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Doesn't mean
I
it's
agree.
gameplay.
Hold on.
I-
Hold on. Chaos, you were saying something and you were cutting off badly.
I was trying to say that just because it's in-game cutscenes doesn't qualify as gameplay.
That's true. 100%. Yeah.
I agree. I think the whole Viking lore or the story that they're going with it, yes, I think that's fascinating. I think that's something that really hasn't really been tapped in a lot of video games, except for more recently, maybe God of War. That has a little bit of whatever it's called. I can't even think of it. Viking lore, whatever Viking lore.
Listen, man. All my
Norse.
Greek mythology knowledge comes from God of War.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That was outside of that, you really don't get that much. So I think that it's interesting that they're going that route, and I'm kind of happy that they are. And honestly, it kind of gives me a little bit maybe interested. I think one of the issues I had with the last Assassin's Creed, because that was probably the one I really was going to buy, and one
Odyssey?
was the stupid, the Odyssey, and one was the stupid freaking doubling XP shit. Yeah, that was one thing that really completely turned me. And the other thing was like, wow, this is Greek mythology, and I've spent at this point the better part of a decade in games that have Greek mythology. So I'm like, it's not that interesting. And so this time I'm like, oh wait, this is a little different. And the only thing, like I said, God of War, and not to mention a little bit of Senua's Sacrifice, because there's a little bit of some well, at least that's Celtic. But anyway, that a region of stuff that I haven't been into, and games really haven't explored. And I think
you're right. A lot of games haven't explored Norse mythology, even though I've been exposed to Norse mythology for a long time because of games like what is it, Valkyries? What?
Valkyrie
Chronicles.
What?
Valkyrie Chronicles.
No. That's oh my god. The first time I saw it was because of Star Ocean, because some characters crossed over to like Freya and some of the Valkyries.
Yeah.
Okay. Valkyries is not Chronicle, is it?
No, Valkyrie Chronicles is a
completely.
It's an anime ass game. That has to do
with
war.
Very anime. Yeah.
Kids fighting World War or something like that.
Pretty much. But overall, like I said, I think it's an interesting aspect. Just a shame they didn't really get shown in gameplay. But I think you give them a few weeks, and gamers, as usual, have short-term memory. And once they do show the gameplay, they'll be back on board.
I mean, it only makes sense, right? If they're all excited about about the next Assassin's Creed. My problem is uh, with this in general was they're teasing a
Valkyrie
trade.
profile. God damn it.
Okay,
Oh, what was that?
so
Valkyrie
Valkyrie
profile.
profile.
Oh, okay.
So welcome back. So they are teasing. First of all, they did a stupid teaser with the whole guy photoshopping the thing and setting about expectation that the next trailer is going to be the gameplay trailer, for this game. And then, just like Chaos mentioned, what you get is a bunch of in-game assets being used to represent something that the final game is really not going to be, because unless the actual game, just like Jim Sterling said recently, unless the gameplay is actually a series of animated scenes that you had to just put together, kind of like a movie editor or something like that, that's not gameplay. All you're showing is a bunch of cutscenes, aspect, or stuff. You're basically doing worse than, or just as bad as you did when Watch Dogs was announced, was first shown. That Watch Dogs trailer, the original trailer, and I think I posted that to this. If it was coming out on this generation, on this next generations, it will still not look as good as it was shown on that trailer. And they all got us, fooled, like, oh yeah, this is gameplay, and it
This
was
is the
bullshit.
Yep.
This that was not at all. I mean, this was the interpretation of what they want gameplay to be, and Ubisoft seems to be Ubisofting it again and doing it, doing the same shit. Except that for the most part, most gamers have already been tired of falling into the same trap over and over and over. Even though you're right, at the end of the day, next time they show gameplay, they're probably gonna forget about this if the gameplay is at least half as good as it was in Odyssey, because the fighting in Odyssey was actually kind of fun. But they're already setting expectation of, well, this is not gonna be. It's not gonna be in size like Odyssey was. It's not gonna be in other words, a huge sprawling Witcher level world. Where you just kind of get lost on it. It's probably gonna be toned down a little bit, which I'm okay with that. That's fine. But yeah, so that's the my fundamental problem that I have with this so-called gameplay trailer. And because, just like you said, Mad Dog, this was the way they decided to close. They close out on a splat. It kind of set the tone for everything else, right?
Correct. Everything
Because
before it. Yep.
everything before it, and they're saying, well, none of the games didn't show any gameplay. That's bullshit. There were some gameplay of some games. I will
Mm-hmm.
argue that there was gameplay, as
The
much gameplay
opening starts with
as
gameplay.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And on E3, you will see almost the same amount of it, if E3 was a little bit more condensed. But because they were, and I think this is what exposed. We're gonna jump probably into the next thing, since we're done with the games, into the next aspect, which is overall. This points out to a larger problem with, not just with Xbox One X, but with the next generation consoles in general, and that is that the your expectations of what graphics are going to be should probably be tempered, because what you'll be getting on it, you're probably already seeing on games that you're playing right now, on some of the best ones. Like the graphics that you're seeing on a game
Final
like Last
Fantasy
of Us
VII.
2. What's that?
Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy VII, great example. Yes. The Red Dead Redemption. Those amazing, incredible graphics that you see on this. When you jump to the next generation, you're gonna notice that it's not gonna be that much of a difference. Sure, some games might have ray tracing if they implement it well, which the first wave of games, I doubt that will make that much of a splash. Uh, so I
I'll
think
notice
people
when
in general.
I'll
What's that?
notice when my loading is like 10 seconds.
Yes, that's the part. That's the part that will impress. The loading, hopefully, the smart deliveries, the frame rate. I hope to God that they actually nailed the frame rate this time, because there will be absolutely no excuse to have
There is no
any
excuse.
game run at less than an optimal 60 frames per second. No
Exactly.
excuse.
And the fact that, as you mentioned, the fact that, yeah, we're pretty much at the, let's say, the edge of what resolution should be. So if we're at the edge of what resolution should be, then now we need to make everything else catch up. And at this point, frame rate needs to catch up, because
Hmm.
there's just no reason for it not to. Because you have
Loading
games
time.
that
Yeah.
literally pull together a 60 frames per second consistently. You know what I'm saying? Look
Yes.
at every freaking Kojima game for the most part. It's just
Yeah.
like, hey, this thing is, and it's always. And granted, it's not gonna. It's maybe not spectacle heavy and all that, but it still runs. It's still optimized the way it should be.
Yeah.
I agree. And I would also throw out there, honestly, if that's the main complaint that a lot of people have, then they just don't fucking get it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you just don't get how this fucking works. There's only so much reality you're going to get out of a fucking video game. And we're on that line already. It's just like, when you look at this this last year of what games look like, and you look at what Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us 2 and what they're going to be bringing to the table in this generation, is like, we're already there.
You could
We're
argue
on
that
that
you don't
line.
need that. Yeah,
It's
the
like,
graphics
what
have
else do you
plateaued,
want?
kind of. Yeah.
Exactly. Do you really need to animate every strand of hair at this point? No, you do not. You're at the line already. Now it's time to focus on other things. Time to focus on systems
time.
underneath the game, that make and do things that you've never seen before.
AI.
Someone bring back the fucking Nemesis system in a way that we've been asking for.
Yes.
Why is that?
100%.
Yes. It's only been one game, and it was literally, it has been the system that everyone has praised, and for whatever reason, no game. You know what I'm thinking is, like, nobody can figure that shit out. That's what it is. Everyone's like going, I have no idea how the fuck they did that, and I'm not even going to work on it. It's just like,
that's the only next generation thing that I saw on this generation. That's the only thing that made me think, okay, yes, that cannot be done on the 360 or PS3.
Agree.
That's the only thing.
And because it wasn't. Because the same game was available on both, and the old one didn't have the Nemesis system because they couldn't figure that shit out over there. So and then we've got an entire generation don't have that type of system running, and it's like, here I need to see at least 5 or 6 variations of this fucking Nemesis system in every game that I see going on in every next gen. And will it be? It may not be the Nemesis system, but that's the whole point. The point is that it's going to have some sort of weird something in the background. That weird thing that Fallout always had, that it had this weird time cycle just rolling in the background, and you'll have a game that actually runs better, has those cycles and all these weird little details, not resolution details, not to the like asinine extent that Naughty Dog sometimes has, where it's like, yes, we need to see this, or even CD Projekt Red, I'm gonna have to call you out on this, like, yes, it's cool that you can make your own genitalia, but who said that was so important to a game? I mean, because unless the game has you flash, correct, unless you're flashing your genitalia in every scene in the game, I don't see why that's important.
Unless by sexual encounters you mean like hardcore porn.
Yeah. Then if that's the case, then you have a winner.
Hardcore porn at very high resolutions. At very high resolutions, not particularly ideal. You see a little bit too much detail that you not necessarily.
It's possible.
Need to see.
It's very possible. Yeah. So I personally think that that's just something that gamers who have looked at that particular reveal, gameplay reveal, first off, it was misleading. All right. Secondly, they themselves had incorrect expectations, and maybe a little bit of entitlement, because let's be real, fucking gamers are entitled. It's just the way it is, right? So they walk into something already with an entitlement, going, I need to see this because I deserve this. right? And so that I think is, I walked into it going, it's like I saw those games, I was like, I was not shocked by the look of any of those games. I was like, they all look great. They're all like exactly what I was thinking was going to happen. Because again, there's only so much you're going to get out of graphics. You know what I'm saying?
To be honest with you, the first game, that bright memory.
Mhm.
If anything, that was the game that I thought I was like, okay, it looks cool. I'm not saying it plays well or it's an excellent or anything like that. I'm just saying I'm intrigued. It was good that they opened with that one because everything else looked like yes, but this could have been done just as well on
Possibly.
a possibly yeah. And the implication, just like you mentioned, is or the not the implications, but the things that they should focus now is other than graphics. The loading times is not just a matter of, well, my game loads faster. No, it's that has incredible gameplay implications. That means that you can do games now that you could not do on the previous console, because think of all the times, dude. Even fucking Final Fantasy VII Remake. Think of all the times where you had to squeeze yourself through boxes to move to
The,
the next section for no reason. That
the
you
most
see that
it
a lot
happened.
in
Yeah,
every
it's
game
so
has that. Every game
and it
has that.
happening more and more often.
Yes,
More and more often.
yes.
Like one game, like if you get the beginning of the generation, games had it and it was cool. I was like, oh, that's interesting,
Oh,
you know,
what's just
whatever. And then you
moving?
figure out what it is. It's like, okay, so they're loading. Okay, and it's
It's cool.
happening
Yeah,
3
it's
or 4
coming.
times in a game. But now
Yes.
it's like all the time. It's like in every new scene. Oh, I have to squeeze between something
I
else.
have
It's
to
like,
squeeze between something because it needs time to load, which I get it. It was a necessity because of the limitations of the hardware. Well, guess what? These consoles are beasts right now. They're beasties. There should not be any reason to have those limitations unless your coding is shit. You're coding poorly, you know, or you're just trying to create realities that don't exist. Like and Naughty Dog, bless their hearts. It's great that you're coding the heartbeats and the circulatory system of each character there. That shit is not fucking needed for gameplay. What you're doing is you're taxing a CPU and a GPU that could be used in those cycles to to render something better, or not to render, fuck that, uh, to make better decisions on its AI, for example. You don't need to go to those crazy Star Citizen levels of detail. You know, so I think that more than just not seeing gameplay, quote unquote, even though there were some games that show gameplay, I think the disappointment here was more of, well, this really doesn't look next gen, because frankly it didn't. I have old games from years back that I can play on my PC now that honestly, frankly, they look a lot better.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
That was anticlimactic.
I
So if you guys want to let me continue talking, I can continue talking, but I figure someone else needs to talk.
no. So overall, I think we've expressed our I don't want to say disappointment, just
No, I'm still looking forward to this.
indifference. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I'm curious to see what. Although a lot of these games are already going to be available on PlayStation, which I'm already going to buy into. What I'm really looking forward to is what's going to be on the other side of the fence. And that has yet to be revealed. But this particular one here wasn't as bad as I think as a lot of the comments and backlash have. I think it was just okay. In
I think
essence, it was just okay. They showed off some good stuff, some other stuff that just didn't make much sense, and it was short, and then it was a little bit misleading on top of that, and I think that all kind of blew up in their face. But it wasn't as bad as.
I think it's a little early to be counting on allegiances yet for this coming generation, because
Not from this review, yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, and at the end of it, you don't know how Sony's gonna respond. So far, hey, I fucking love that controller. I have no illusions to think that the PlayStation 5 will deliver less on its capabilities. And what I mean less, I mean, yes, I know that the specs are a little bit more in favor of Xbox, but as we have seen, that means nothing. I'm talking about what they could actually deliver. Like, I have no doubt, that they will be able to pull something, However, we still don't know anything about pricing. And let me tell you, if I'm gonna have, and this is just to give you an idea. This is not what I'm thinking that is gonna happen. All right, it's just to give you an idea. But if we're thinking of Xbox somehow nailing a speculative, 500. Well, let's just go crazy. Let's say $499, because they're gonna take a tremendous loss. It's just to speculate. And then Sony comes $599 US. I'm sorry, that's that. Money's still a big factor, and it was a big factor on the days of the PS3, and Xbox, So we still have to check on that. We also have to see, how what other games are actually going to be released on the fucking Xbox, because so far, like, this announcement. There's no Final Fantasy remake moment. There's no one more thing that blew us away. There was nothing there. I don't think this was the medium or something that they prepared to deliver that. Although if they would have had it, you can bet your ass they would have. But I don't think they have it. I don't think they have it,
because they would have shown it. It would have blown everybody away. Exactly. Why not? Yeah,
exactly. And from the understanding is that Sony's having a little bit of difficulty right now with the logistics of how they're going to deliver on a PS5. I don't know, that shit might still end up being delay, and it probably be for the best, because it gives more time for developers to bring more stuff to it. And delaying the console, it probably won't have as big of an impact as some people seem to think it might.
True.
But yeah. Well, I guess I'm done talking.
Are you good?
He let it all out. He let it all out, which is fine. You want to let it all out. That's good stuff.
Let it all out.
Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, to this awesome, shall we call it, dismantling of the Xbox Series X gameplay. I think we literally dismantled it. Yeah, I think it's on point, though. I think that's kind of what we did.
What do you call it when you disseminate? I prefer to use when you're looking at it like a frog, like opening a frog and
dissecting.
Dissecting. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Dissecting is the perfect word for it.
We're
not dismantling it.
A little dismantling. Not much, but just a little bit.
You know me. I don't hate. I just stick to the facts.
For sure. And I'm not hating either, for sure. Thanks again so much for tuning in, guys. As always, please, first off, thank you so much. But please go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. Again, that takes you right to our Facebook group. And, of course, if you're listening to this on YouTube or any of the podcast services, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. This is Mad Dog signing off this week, promising that I do not hate on anything that Xbox has shown. I'm just saying it was a little misleading.
I'm going to dismantle it.
I'm not dismantling it either. Mr. Chaos Sweeper.
I am going to make my way back to Final Fantasy VII Remake and try to get my Platinum Trophy out of it.
Nice,
brother.
Sir, I need you to post it when it happens.
Oh, I will. I most definitely will.
Pics or that's it didn't happen?
I can go check if it did, but still.
I guess so,
Pics will be... If you do it, I'm like, oh, I gotta go see. This is bullshit.
This is no bullshit.
I got you.
Mr. Dream Twister, take us home.
Nope, I have nothing else to say. You go ahead and pee, sir, because you're being holding it like a racehorse.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody noticed that.
Oh, I saw it a while back.
Oh, did you? You're like,
Yeah.
I wonder how long he needs.
That only makes what I said even better. Like he really didn't give a fuck.
That is for sure.
You're gonna stay here until I'm done.
I was actually gonna. I was
I
literally gonna put the mic down and walk out. He'll never notice.
Probably not.
Oh my god! All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
GG!